All right. It looks like we are live. I want to welcome everybody in. Alo has been in there for a little bit. Michelle, Joko, Alo again, Mick T, and Nanya. Welcome everybody. King Solomon, welcome, homie. Let's do some intro music and then we'll get into it. This is Rabbit Hole Part 5.
Dance, K-Dot, dance. Hello, everyone. I'll say my hellos. Nanya, Joko, King Solomon, Mick. Good to see you. Michelle.
Michelle. Say it right.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle, my belle.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome everybody to the MLH channel. This is Rabbit Hole Part 5. I, of course, am MLH. On my panel, I have a great panel today. As always, I have Ellie, the great Ellie, greatest mod on the planet, all around badass.
The absolute
Ellie,
best.
how are you? If she
I'm very
unmutes.
well, thank you. Sorry I had it muted for a second. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
All right.
K-Dot, always a pleasure, hun.
Yes, always a pleasure, my love.
And
Appreciate
then
you.
the voice that you're hearing, the sexy, sultry tones of DJ K Dot's party. K Dot, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. I just feel like we're getting a lot of stuff done lately. Elijah McClain trial is still in process. It actually resumes today, so
Yeah, instead of doing that, we're doing this. We were there yesterday, though, K Dot, on Yom Kippur, the Jewish holiday. So,
yeah. And technically, I apologize, MLH, because I reread uh, what the title said on Denver 7.
yeah.
Because I glanced by it and it says resumes, but it said resumes Tuesday.
So we're out there yesterday, guys,
Yeah, so my
waiting, and
apologies on that.
we go into
So
the courtroom, and nobody's in the court, nobody's milling around, but there's a hell of a lot of other people in all the other courts, and we're like,
yeah, I'm like, damn, did we piss people off that
Okay,
bad?
hold
Like,
on, gentlemen. Hold on. Let's tell the chat the truth, though. How did they find out that there was no trial yesterday? They had to call me and
yes,
well,
ask me, why is there nobody in the courtroom? What time does the trial start? As if I live in Aurora or Denver or Colorado.
I like how
But
Ellie,
I Google and find out that it's a holiday.
yeah. Well, it wasn't a holiday for everybody else in that courthouse because court went on as planned for everybody else, but for this trial, it was not, but hey, we're not here for that, and we're not here for a scolding by Ellie. As a matter of fact, might be the other way around. No, I'm kidding.
Just gotta let the chat know the truth.
Welcome, Kip LA. Nice to have you here, bud, and also
Unindoctrinated. Good to see you, love. Kip, good to see you.
Unindoctrinated.
Kip
Noel
Kip,
Arm.
Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie. Hey, Bernie. Noel Armerson. Nice to have
undoctrinated.
you.
What's up?
He says, "Is Bugs Bunny to be found down the rabbit hole? And if so, does he actually have Marvin the Martian's Eludium Q38 explosive space modulator?" Maybe we'll find out at the end of this panel, Noel. So stay tuned.
Good old
But
Noel.
we are going to have an interesting panel because there's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
K Dot and I, to set everything up, if you guys haven't seen the video, which please watch the videos. It's a series of videos that details not only a crime by a police officer,
Hmm.
but the process in which normal citizens have to go through in order to simply put in a complaint on an officer. So
Hmm.
let's start from the beginning with Rabbit Hole 1, guys. Now, what Rabbit Hole 1 was a very mundane kind of video from K Dot myself. K Dot has his public on his channel now. I have mine labeled as Rabbit Hole 1 because it's led us down a deep rabbit hole here. And it started with us watching a cop doing nothing on the side of the road to driving and littering. and there was question whether or not this guy littered. And I did have a viewer give me a text message saying, the guy's window was closed. How could he have littered? It didn't come from the car, et cetera, et cetera. But au contraire, mon frere, we have had extensive looks at it. And I personally was wavering at one point about it, but the littering wasn't the point of this whole video, which we will eventually get to. But Ellie and I and KDOT have determined that, yes, in fact, this guy definitely littered. Officer Bova littered from his vehicle. Right, Ellie?
So what MLH means, everybody, by extensive research, is that Ellie looked at the video multiple times
No, I looked at it
in
too.
different speeds, and then we looked at it together.
No. I looked at it before you, Ellie. So once I got that comment, I definitely took it upon myself to look at that video over and over. And I thought there was a little side window, like those old school triangle windows that you could
Which
open.
hasn't been around for 30 years.
I know, but I thought this car had it, but it didn't. But he definitely opened his window a crack and let a piece of paper fly out of his vehicle.
Hey, Matthew the King, Cajun Randy, welcome. Good to see you.
Nice to have you guys here.
Hey,
All right,
what's up, Matthew the King?
let me share the screen.
Now, I will say, but let me say that when I first went through it, I
Yes.
called MLH and I told them, listen, I think maybe he might not have littered because the window was up all the time. And he's like, no, he thought I had one of those small windows that you could crank open. And I'm like, I haven't seen any of them in like 30 years. But I went back and looked and it didn't. But then I watched it again because for those who think when you watch it in regular mode that it could have flown up, you would be correct. It does appear that it could have done that. But when you watch it in a 0.25 mode, there is absolute proof that there's no way that happened.
Right.
So we'll show that. So I had to depict it in frame by frame to be able to see what actually happened because I want to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Right. Right.
I'm the juror. So
Yeah.
as you see, MLH, he's the prosecutor. Okay. KDOT, he's the defense, and I'm the juror.
Okay. Now, to set up the future conversation that we're going to have on this panel, I don't think the littering matters as much as the process. But we will get to that.
Well, no. I think there's another part that people didn't see. So I think if you scroll back to the beginning real quick,
all the way to the beginning.
all the way to the beginning, and then I'll let you know, and then we'll just kind of scroll through it a little bit.
Wait, you
Well,
mean
first go to the beginning. First go to, like right there. You're right there. Yep, you're first. Okay, no, right there is good. Okay, yeah, and you can put it in 2 times mode.
All right, let's put it in
We
2
don't need
times.
sound because sound's not important.
No, I'm definitely not doing sound. So here we go.
Is that
So there
like
was some.
the clarity?
This is the beginning where you're walking.
This is just the beginning where we're walking.
This is the beginning before you get up there. See how the car is all the way up on the right hand side,
Yeah.
and you
so-
guys are crossing the street. So go ahead.
Okay, got it.
All right. So we're coming from the Shark, by the way. I don't think it was KDOT's car that we were. Not that it matters, but
Mm-mm.
all right. And
Keep going. Keep going. You're going to go around this truck
Yep. And tell me when to pause.
and use this opportunity to blow up your screens if you want.
Yes, blow up your screens on your phones if you have them because it's easier to do so than a computer. But
Okay, stop.
That's a sign.
If you look to the right hand side, there would be a no parking on this side of the street. So there's the first problem. Why is he stopped there? Now there's more than one sign, but keep going.
But hold on. Let me explain those signs too, Ellie. Those signs are for street sweeping, and they are specific times that you have to not park there, otherwise you will be ticketed. And this happens to be one of those times.
Yep.
I can tell that.
That's why nobody's on that side.
That's why nobody's on that. That's right. So let's
There you
continue.
Nobody's on that side of the street. Find that odd? Not me. You're going to come up to another sign. So there's multiples. There's another sign,
That says
a little
no.
shorter.
Yeah, that one
Now,
says
now,
no.
now, keep going. You can scroll up like 15 seconds.
All right.
Stop right there.
Wait,
Stop right there.
All right,
Stop.
hold on. I'm trying.
Okay. Notice the gate. I want you to notice the curvage. See that apron? That means driveway. It means don't block at any time. It doesn't
Right.
mean because you have red and blue lights on your vehicle that you can stop and park wherever you feel like stopping and
Right.
parking.
Right.
Let alone
I
he's a
look
little
at that.
close to the stop sign, but he is blocking that. Now, granted, the business is probably not open, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't say anywhere you can block a driveway if a business is closed because you don't know if there's going to be a fire or an emergency, something happens and people need to get in and all of a sudden they're breaking windows and stuff for a fire department. It means none. That's why there's an apron. So not only is he parked on the wrong side of the street, not only is he blocking this business, but then he decides to litter. I just wanted to point out all the things that I think were wrong with this video. Hello, What's
No,
Truth? Good morning.
Absolutely,
What's
you're
Truth?
absolutely right.
Welcome,
And that
John
was one of
DeNicola.
the. That's what I
John
was actually
DeNicola.
going
Hello,
to.
love.
What were you saying, K-Dot? I'm sorry.
I was actually gonna when I was gonna go and approach him was because of him blocking the driveway. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
And well, and also we were just trying to see how long he was going to stay there because he was doing nothing. He wasn't writing a report. He wasn't. There was nothing going on.
That's why I wanted to get a closer look. MLA's bitch. You stopped me.
Go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
No, but I get what you're saying. We were just trying to. He was clearly irritated.
No, Matt, he didn't turn. He actually went straight.
Yeah, he went straight. Yeah.
Yeah, because if I had sound on, you would hear me tell K-Dot, "Hey, K-Dot, stay there. I want to see if he turns on his turn signals."
Yeah.
Well, he didn't need his turn signals because he was going straight.
He was trying to get the hell out of there. He was
Yeah.
Then he was just irritated and was just like, "Fuck these guys."
Yeah. Which, by the way, we did follow him as much as we could, but he was driving too fast. I wanted to see where he ended up. He ended up at a gas station. So
At one of the which I told MLH it was one of the gas stations that that are for the city, and they'll go that's all. It's a gas station. It's a portal for you for their cars to be worked on. Trash compactors go back there. It's all city usage. So
yeah. So but I can also tell you this guy was speeding like crazy. I mean, we weren't speeding, so we had a hard time catching up to him.
You're going to a different part. We're only addressing this, gentleman.
Okay.
Sorry.
So let's move forward.
Let's continue on. Let's continue.
You're
on.
right.
So let's go to around the 6-minute mark.
Oh, okay. The 6 minute. 6:18 or
No. Go to 6 minutes. So we'll give them the 18 seconds.
Okay.
We want to see the whole thing.
All right. So here he is at the intersection trying to cross. Should I do this in 2x speed or
No.
speed?
You're going to do this you're going to do it twice. You're going to do it first in regular speed
Okay.
and let people see it. And then we'll go back and do it in 2.5.
All right. Sounds good to me. So here we go. Here it is in regular speed. And I told KDOT to stay there so that way he could we could see if whether or not he used his turn lights, but he didn't.
Okay, so it's 6:11, 6:12, 6:14. He's starting to go. Let's watch for the paper, and there goes the paper. Okay.
Did you guys see
So
that?
everybody saw that go out. Now we're going to go back and watch it in 0.25. So go to like 6:06, so it's not so long because it really drags out when it's 0.25.
Well, let's do 6:16. So he's already.
Well, they might miss it. Okay.
Well, I'll do it in 0.25, and then they won't miss it. So let's do that, and let's go 0.25. And now
here's what you're going to want to stop it at.
Yeah.
You're going to want to stop it for everybody at 6:18. That's the timestamp, and then we'll tell you why.
Okay, hold on. Here we go, guys. Watch this. Tell me when, Ellie.
I will. Hold on.
Right there.
Yep.
Okay. So right there, you can clearly see the piece of paper in the rear view mirror.
Can we
So
do a
that's
close-up?
where the paper
zoom in?
originates in not the rear view mirror, the side mirror.
I keep saying rear view, but it's
Yeah,
the
the
side
rear
mirror.
view mirror is in the center of the windshield. The
It's
side mirror is when. Go ahead.
Can we
What were
go
you saying,
close
Kata?
up?
Oh, you, hey,
Can we
mute
Can
your
you-
zoom
mic.
in?
Hey, K-Dot,
There
mute.
should be a way to zoom in.
I can't zoom.
He can't zoom. Everybody has to zoom on their own.
Yeah, if you're on a phone, you can zoom in. You
Oh.
can see it. There's a
And you
little.
can, guys. You can.
I
Yeah.
can. I'm zooming in now.
Yeah, so you can
Okay.
see, if you're on a phone, you can clearly see the piece of paper in the side mirror. There. So you want me to continue so you can see the trajectory of the.
Yes. Yep. Keep going. Same thing. 2.5 mode.
Yep.
Watch how it goes down. It doesn't come up.
See it? Right there?
Oh, shit.
See how it went down? Right there's the piece of paper.
Yep.
So if you watch it on your own, you will see that the object did not fly up.
It
It
flew
flew
down.
down. So what he did was at 6:17, you will see his face in the side mirror at first.
Yeah.
You will start to see the window come down a little, and then you will see the piece of paper go out at 6:18. So that's everybody's timestamp for those who question. Well, you might have a laptop, What's Truth, but I don't. So for those who want to question whether that piece of paper came from the ground and just blew from the wind or came from the officer's vehicle, it is clear that it came from the officer's vehicle at 6:18 when it goes into the rear view mirror. You can tell that it's coming from the vehicle.
Yeah. Now, there was a little bit of controversy about that, and I did get a comment from somebody that said the guy's window was down, blah blah blah, but clearly you can see from the video, if you slow it down to 0.25, it definitely came from the officer's vehicle, and he definitely, like, he didn't roll his window all the way down, but he probably cracked it and threw the piece of paper out that crack, right?
What's true, you forgot parking on the wrong side of the street.
So yeah, so he parked illegally. He was in a driveway. He, littered. So that's how this whole thing started. Now, I'm here to tell you. I'm going to give you a little bit of foreshadowing here, per se. The littering is but a small part of this whole rabbit hole series that we're doing here. So let's continue. So
Well, not necessarily, because that comes into play in Rabbit Hole 2.
it does come into play in Rabbit Hole 2. So I think we should probably pull Rabbit Hole 2 up, right? Ellie?
Yes, and that's going to be important to listen to pretty much the whole thing.
Hold on. And it's only 6 minutes long, I believe.
Yeah, but there's a very important part that is said when KDOT is talking to the supervisor on duty,
Okay.
and we want to address that.
Yeah, let me get past the commercials here, and then we will get to. It's basically the guy. He's talking to the guy, right? So
Yes.
let's see if we can find where he's talking to the guy. Hold on. Oh, I still got it on 2 point whatever. All right, playback speed, normal, and here we go.
You got to share it.
Shit, I didn't share it. See,
No, you didn't.
I'm watching it all by myself, guys.
no
I'm depriving you of the.
fun.
Hey, Tiffany.
Tiffany, welcome, and What's
Hey,
Truth, welcome.
Tiffany.
I don't know if I welcomed you guys. Welcome to the stream. This is Rabbit Hole Part 5. We're currently
Good morning, Johnny Caucasian. Sorry.
Caucasian. Nice to have you in here as well. All right, here we go.
This year report that that's not okay, and
Hold on. I think it's a little bit further. Let me find it.
we're in it.
No, we want to where he picks up the phone because it's very important in the beginning of the conversation.
The beginning of the guy, right? Not
Right, the beginning of the guy.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure this is the guy. Oh, okay, hold on. I think it's not too much longer here. Hold on. Let's go back here. Nope. All right. here, maybe.
Correct.
All right.
No, go back 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, because that's where the important part is.
Okay.
What she just described,
Hold on.
littered off of Colfax and Trenton.
No, it's
No,
before.
Go, keep going.
Okay, so I'll just let it go here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just here to report that. And that's not okay. And if I was a citizen, I would get a ticket. Correct? Yeah, that's the law.
Stop right there.
Yes.
So I think it's odd that in the next rabbit hole, when you guys actually go to make the complaint,
Mhm.
the sergeant is him and hawing and how he doesn't give out tickets for that, and not necessarily, but this desk supervisor
Yeah.
agrees that if he was a citizen and littered, he would get charged. Why is it that you talk to two officers at the same district and get a different answer?
Right. That's
That
exactly.
is my important question.
Yes.
I need an answer. KDOT, can you answer that for me, please?
One was trying to be politically right. The other one was trying to be in the gray area, and actually try to use his officer discretion card, because he how he flipped it on me was just like, okay, so what? You want to give every citizen a ticket? I said, look, all I'm saying is that you would use it as a trespassing type situation. I would.
Uh-huh.
I would say, hey, look, I'm going to give you the opportunity to pick that up. If you don't pick that up, then I'm going to cite you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly you're being negligent and you're purposefully littering. You know what I'm saying?
But if you litter and leave the scene,
but here's the
there's
thing.
no opportunity.
And I told him, I said, but here's the difference. You're an officer. You're supposed to be held to a higher standard even than me. So, yeah, he should be ticketed. He should be ticketed. You can coach him all you want to, but you have to, sometimes in leadership, you have to, it's like one of those things, well, how am I supposed to, you guys gotta let me know so I can correct the issue at hand. Because it is about the small things. It is about the little things. And I'm not talking about micromanaging. What I'm saying is that if you allow a person in that particular position to get away with just little shit like that, and the public is watching you, you're on watch 24/7. It makes the entire entity look bad.
Yeah.
So,
I would agree with that. You if you can't hold somebody accountable for the smallest things, how are you going to hold them accountable for the bigger things?
well, yeah, because if you let them go with that, then it's like, okay, I got away with that. What else can I get away with?
And here's my thing on that. I'm going to disagree a little bit. If there is a law that says you cannot litter,
right,
then you cannot litter. You can't excuse it for one and not excuse it for all, which then means it would not be a law. So if the person has the opportunity to pick up said litter, then yes, then they have an opportunity. But in this case,
he did not.
He knowingly snuck around to do it by gradually rolling the window down a teeny bit and then throwing it out. It wasn't like an oops, it wasn't intentional, and he has no opportunity to pick it up. Therefore, it is a littering offense. And once it's a littering offense that cannot be corrected, which it cannot be in this case, then he needs to be cited. End of story.
And not only, you're right, you're absolutely right, and it was done with malice.
It was.
So,
and again, we don't know what's on that piece of paper. It could have had somebody's personal confidential information on there. Could have had their name, phone number, social. We don't know what it could have had. It could have been a crime that maybe he didn't feel like doing, or a love letter he was writing to somebody while he was on duty. We don't know. But the point is, there's some information that's out there on Colfax that should not be out there.
Right.
Well, and I halfway contemplated getting that piece of paper prove a point, but the reason I didn't is because the Colfax is way too busy. So I wasn't gonna risk my life for a fucking piece of paper. Although,
well, not only that, but as soon as the paper dropped, there was another car that, whoosh, there was cars flying past. So
But what was that important that he needed to get rid of that piece of paper that quickly?
I think
Right.
he
What
did
was
it.
that?
Honestly, to tell you the truth, and this is and I'm assuming, I'm not. This is my opinion, my personal opinion. I think it was a big like fuck you.
yeah, I agree. I kind of felt that way
I
too.
really
Kid.
feel like it was a big fuck you. And
Like maybe
I'm
he
a
was
cop,
calling you
and
trash.
maybe.
Yeah, it could have been that.
I wouldn't
Could
even.
be.
I think it was just a big middle finger. I have the privilege of doing that because I am a police officer. Instead of
But
using it
but again,
as
that doesn't make it okay. And
Right.
oh
listen,
no, it doesn't.
if you need to, as an officer, be trained on not to throw trash out of the vehicle that's paid for by the public on the public streets, which is maintained by the public, then maybe perhaps you should not be an officer. Because if you cannot understand a little task such as don't litter, give a hoot, don't pollute,
Right.
then maybe you should not be responsible for citing other people
Well, not
Right.
for
only
something
that,
like
but I
that.
think if I'm pretty sure your parents should have taught you that. You know, hey, make sure you clean up after yourself. You know, don't
Right.
leave your stuff
it's
dirty
just
for other people to be
right.
responsible
It's something
for.
we learned as kids, right?
Yeah, as
Like if
kids.
you
That's just
if you see a piece of trash, you pick it up
moral.
and throw it in the trash. That's how I
And,
was.
and we're going to hear a little contradiction very soon on this, but so we're going to continue to play it. But also, he would have the opportunity to throw that piece of paper away at the end of the shift, would he not, per policy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Per
Absolutely.
policy, in that 807-page policy, he is given the opportunity at the end of each shift to clean out the vehicle, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Now we find out something very disturbing, so we'll continue to listen, but
Yes.
he does have an opportunity.
Yes. Good Citizen Media, welcome to to the show. Johnny Bravo, welcome as well. Nice to have you guys here and everybody else in chat. Let's continue with the saga that is Rabbit Hole Part 2.
Yeah.
Name and badge number.
I just need to know who the officer's name and his badge number drives that unit, so I can make the proper complaint.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to put up a call to have a sergeant in District 2 give you a phone call, and you can talk about the situation with him.
No, just tell
Like,
us.
get your name and a phone number, and he'll have his actual sergeant, potentially his actual sergeant, give you a phone call.
That's fine, but I really want the officer's name and badge number, which I'm legally required to have.
He'll be able to provide that to you. I don't know who the officer was.
You can't look that up?
I'm unable to look that up.
Are you sure?
Okay, let me stop it here because K-Dot and I both knew at that point that he was bullshitting.
It's
Let's
full of
continue.
shit.
He was 100% bullshitting, and I can prove it.
Yeah, I can prove it too by playing the video.
Well, not just that, but what if there was a citizen that were to call to say officer down and gave the vehicle number? Do you think for 1 minute that police station wouldn't know exactly which officer that was?
Yeah,
Right.
good point. Very common sense. But see, it only works one way with them, Ellie. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue on with the conversation.
Can you turn the volume up a little too?
I can't because
Oh, it can't go up higher. Okay.
yeah, the volume on K-Dot's phone only goes up so high. So you're gonna have to listen really. Really intently?
MLH,
Yeah.
you should have had an option on the editing system where that you can actually turn the volume up. I know I do that.
Yeah, but then it turns your voice and my voice up too much, and then you can't.
I mean, slightly. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
there's no way I can do it here. But
That's okay. It's okay. Go ahead. I can hear it. I just want to hear it louder.
yeah, let's continue. You guys at home are gonna have to turn the volume up and down as needed on your phones or on your computer to hear it better.
Right.
So here you go.
Right.
Your name, and I can get a patrol supervisor to give you a phone call.
No, it doesn't work that way. I need the name and the badge
Oh,
number.
hold on 1 second, Tom.
Yes.
I did want to point out, Kate, you were very nice and kind and professional on the phone. I just wanted to point that out there. You were very nice. He did get to a point where, he was being a little rude and stuff, and you had to step it up a little. But so far, you were very kind on the whole call because I heard it.
Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate it.
Okay, here we go.
Legally required if a citizen asks for, and it's also in that 807-page policy. I have a vehicle number. Yes, the vehicle number is 0175. The license plate is Bravo Sierra, as in with the S, Golf 800.
And isn't it funny how now he can look it up?
Yeah. See, did you see how when KDOT pointed out he's legally required to do so? He
All
quickly
of a sudden, he can look it up.
all of a
It's
sudden.
amazing that power that KDOT has.
Isn't it amazing? KDOT is an amazing human being, and he has superpowers.
I wish.
Oh, by the way, just a little behind the scenes stuff. I was holding the camera the entire time. I don't know
And he
why.
did such a great job.
I don't know how I held it together, but
You
I
did such a great job.
Look how stable my hand is, KDOT. Like it's like I don't know. It's just like the hand of God or something. Oh. Commercials. I love it. Hang on.
Steve.
Here we go.
If I don't show an active, which is why I want to use dissertation, I don't show an active 0175. But I'm in my, it's not showing up in my, the roster that we looked up into what we call a CAP system.
What? Okay.
I'm unable to verify who that officer is based on that information.
Well, usually the officer signs in his last and his first and his last name when he picks out the vehicle.
That's not necessarily what happens every day.
Now,
Well, that should
hold on, therein lies the problem.
There's a
Yes, but it's not necessarily what happens every day.
And
Well-
check this out. Check out how KDOT handles this
He,
particular.
he does a great job.
Yep. So hang
I
on.
will say
Listen to
that
this.
before we start, that is complete and utter bull. Let's just say
Yep.
I'll play the devil's advocate for a little bit. Even if that, were to be somewhat true, you would get in trouble for that. The
Yeah.
supervisor is supposed to hold that person accountable. Even in, okay, for instance, security, which I've worked, and you would get in trouble if you checked out keys or a vehicle or whatever or any type of equipment and you didn't sign your name to. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I even see janitorial services. They have a clipboard and they have keys to the building. They have any type of equipment that they use, cleaning equipment, they have to sign out for it. They
Right.
have to sign out for it. So that's completely and utter bullshit. And if you don't, you will get in trouble for that.
Yep. So let's listen to KDOT take this particular issue and really stick it to this. I think he's a dispatching supervisor is the best way I can put it. But here you go. Here's KDOT at one of his finest moments.
That should be protocol, because how are you supposed to know? Well, hold on, because you kind of cut me off. You kind of cut me off. That was kind of rude. What I'm saying, oh, actually, I was actually in the process of speaking and you interrupted me, sir. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
So what I was saying, are you done? Or are you? What I'm saying is that it is protocol for that officer to check in all equipment, including vehicle equipment, that I can actually Cora request that, by the way. As far as each and every officer checking for the first and the last name and their badge number, any equipment that they're checking out, just in case something were to happen to that equipment or that equipment was damaged, the supervisors know exactly who to go to because they were they were in possession of that property. So you're not going to sit here and tell me that they don't do that all the time. Because if they don't do that all the time, then we have a fucking problem. And that's not okay. And someone needs to be held accountable. Now you can speak.
Mic drop.
Yep. See, okay.
He got nothing to say there. Nothing to say.
There was nothing he could have said, and then he's gonna pretend like
No, he says I got nothing to say. He says it because K-Dot was right. I mean, you have to think, what if you're transporting a prisoner? Okay, you have to know who was in control of that vehicle and that they cleaned it out at the end, because what if drugs fell out on that shift and the next day somebody doesn't check that stuff, and then they go out and they arrest somebody, and then all of a sudden they hit a bump and a bag of drugs comes out from someplace that was hidden or tucked away the day before, but that inmate that's arrested gets charged with those charges. A vehicle needs to be checked at the end and the beginning of each shift and assigned to each officer, which is policy everywhere, I'm sure.
I agree, 100%. And not only that, but just the pure maintenance of the equipment, like the vehicle. Is the vehicle?
Well, exactly. Who hit what?
Vehicle? Are you going to leave the vehicle dirty for the next officer? That's not fair, you know?
Right. Teresa, welcome to chat. It's been a little while since I've seen you. Nice to have you back in the fold. Here is a continuation of Rabbit Hole Part 2, where K-Dot acts like a Greek god.
Hello?
I'm right here.
I just said now you can speak.
I have nothing to say.
He has nothing to say.
I'm looking up the information you requested. I have nothing to say until I find the information for you.
Great.
Nothing you want to hear that I have to say. So,
well, I just
I know. Fulfilling your request.
Okay.
Well, which is all what we want, right? We don't want a bunch of jibber jabber from a piece of shit like this guy. So let's continue.
If he had nothing to say, why was he trying to talk before? He had nothing to say.
Because he was trying. He knew he was trying to interrupt me because he knew I was right, and he was going to try to overtalk and think like I don't know their fucking protocol or the procedures.
Right. And this is why I love this man, K-Dot. So let's continue on and listen to the rest of the conversation, which is a lot of dead air, but nonetheless, we'll get to the point here.
Get his name and badge or name.
I'm going to fast forward just for time's sake here.
Badge number is Paul 17069.
Badge number is Paul 1769. 069.
Look how he found that. Wasn't that easy?
It's a Christmas miracle, everybody. All of a sudden, this guy comes up with the information that K-Dot requests. And you guys heard him. He doesn't have access to that information. He said, I don't have that information.
It doesn't look like it's assigned to anybody. It doesn't always happen, for each shift like that. And miracle of miracles, this must be Miracle on Colfax.
Right. The miracle on
He was
Colfax.
able to find out who the officer was and their badge number. It's amazing.
Yeah. I just want to point out that King Solomon said MLH, a.k.a. gimbal hands. That's right. That's right. So, yes. So there you go. Do we need to play any more?
No, I think we're good.
All right. We're good on that one. So that leads us... the guy was kind of salty, right? I mean, I don't know what he was salty for. That KDOT basically made him
Because
do.
KDOT read that damn 807 pages and knows what's in there. That's why he was salty. He's
That's
like, oh crap, I can't tell if this is a real citizen or if I'm being tested by my sergeant and this is going to be in my review. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should just give the real answer because I don't want to get caught in a lie. You know, these calls are recorded. Oh no.
And
Right.
Yeah, it was a good read.
Johnny Bravo says, "Meow, you can talk. Meow,
It
meow."
was. I mean, literally, when I was reading the manual, it was like a fairy tale.
I mean, look.
I read their
KDOT,
I read their mission statement, all of that. It was just like, really?
Oh, this is the mission statement, huh? All right. Now, this leads us into Rabbit Hole Part 3, right? Wherein KDOT and MLH decide to file a formal complaint.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of issues with this first part. This is where I almost got arrested. And then I mean, it's only a 6-minute video. Do you guys mind? 6
No, but
minutes.
hold on. I want to point out that Matthew is exactly correct when he says,
Yeah.
obviously, a dispatcher has to know exactly which officers are in the field and which cars they are in. Because how do they know
Absolutely.
where you are and who to assign to what? So that is 100% correct.
Yeah.
And
100.
not only that, they have GPS
Correct. So
locators
they know.
on their vehicle.
Yep. So they
Nice try.
definitely know.
Nice try.
KDOT. This is.
I don't
this
even
is-
think it was a nice try because it's just obvious that they know.
Yeah.
Yeah. KDOT is an absolute master at the game. And nothing is gonna. I mean, most nothing is gonna fly over his head when it comes to these matters. I can assure you. We've been through this song and dance how many times, KDOT? Where
Oh, too many.
you know, we're just doing verbal
many.
judo with these fucking
And
assholes,
this-
and they have no idea.
This is why I say if you're an up and coming cop watcher, you know, before you even do this stuff, know your laws, know your local laws, know your local ordinances, all those type of things. Study other good auditors, not I don't know,
Yeah.
fucking begging e-beggar ones. I'm talking about the ones who really do really good investigative work and do that. So before you,
Yeah.
because then you'll just be a bystander with a camera.
Yeah, and Johnny points out something too. Evidence that this officer lies, even if it is a small lie. So, it's the corruption runs so deep that they think it's just like routine and everyday, and everybody should just accept it. Well,
And
there's
anybody who was charged with littering from that officer's case should be changed.
absolutely. So if he ever gave a littering ticket out, which I don't know, he may or may not have, but if he ever gave one, those should immediately be thrown out, no doubt.
And if that's not the case, then I think the taxpayer should get back all the money for any signs that say "Don't litter," because you're wasting taxpayers' dollars if you're not going to enforce it.
In Denver, it's $1,000 fine for littering on the
Yeah,
highway.
up to 1,000 and up to 6 months, or up to 6 months in jail, depending on what offense.
Yes.
Crazy.
So here we go. With Rabbit Hole Part 3, I'm going to play this whole thing. It's going to be about 10 minutes or so. Actually, let's just we're going to get into the building here, and I'm just going to play.
Just before you play that,
Yep.
when he threw that paper out when he littered like that,
Yes.
he clearly showed his morals, how he feels about community.
Well,
Yeah.
we point that out in this video, Kate. I don't know if it's this one or Rabbit Hole 4, but we point. I think I pointed it out about Colfax, how he said that, Colfax is got a lot of trash. Well, why would you add to that? So there
Right.
you go. All right.
And but that doesn't make it okay.
It doesn't.
Oh well, it has a lot of. So let's just make it a dump.
Right.
Right.
And I pointed that out to that officer.
Now I could be wrong because I don't live in Denver, but aren't there in periodic areas trash cans with trash bags that the taxpayers pay for them to come and empty?
Yes.
So you can easily find a trash can someplace to put that.
There's trash cans all up and down Colfax. There's
Sure
trash
is.
cans at the bus stops. There's trash cans in front of businesses. There's trash cans all along Next time I'm on a Colfax run, you guys look for yourself on the side of the road, and you will see a plethora of trash cans. I
Yeah,
mean,
usually they're attached to poles or something like that. Some more, depending if the business owner puts it out there. But there are plenty of places where he could have gotten rid of that piece of paper.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
look, is it a major deal like an assault or something of that nature? No, but it does show you that if you can get away with something little, you can get away with something big. So let's continue with
But how many times do they litter where the homeless people are and then blame the homeless people?
that happens all the time. Matter of
Oh
fact,
yeah.
people will steal cars and then park where they know homeless people are, so they can blame the homeless. So it's a
But
it's
see,
a big
these particular type of mentality officers are the same officers that'll plant drugs on innocent citizens.
Absolutely.
yes,
This is the same
absolutely.
mentality they have, and this is why you got to catch the small stuff.
Yep,
This
yep.
is exactly why
Okay,
you got to
so
catch the small stuff.
exactly. So here's Rabbit Hole Part 3, most of Rabbit Hole Part 3.
Forms here as well. Okay, so there's none out in the lobby, which is where they should be. Let's go check over here. Maybe they hid them from us over here.
Okay,
Let's
so
check.
I'm just pointing out that this is the start of my big problem with this whole thing, and it has to do with process.
Mhm.
There are 0 complaint forms in the lobby of the police station. Why is that? Is my big question.
And for
So
you guys that do live in Denver, Colorado, and you're wanting an actual complaint form, do not allow them to lie to you and say that they don't have one.
they
Because
do.
because they absolutely do. Matter of fact, my
Yes.
first arrest, she said there weren't any complaint forms. You have to go call a landline or something like that, and then
Or
they'll be
go
able to take
online
it.
or any
Yeah, or go
bullshit like
online.
that.
Yeah, that total horseshit.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's continue.
No.
Hold on, I got a
Okay.
question. I got
So
a weird
I've done a
question.
walk around. There's no.
Hold on.
Okay.
I got a question. Are those little gumball machines in the front?
I believe they are.
Where? Let me see.
Hold on.
Near the front,
Oh yeah, yeah. They
right
are
there in the
coming
corner.
out.
Little
Yeah.
gumball machines. Who's
Yep.
making the profit off of that bad boy?
You know what? That's a
Mm.
good question. I
Those are
didn't
people
even
who
notice that.
they probably have it's probably a third party contractor that came in.
Why would you have a third party contractor do that? That wouldn't make sense. Is that theirs? Did they buy them and trying to make more money?
Mm.
I just find that odd that you have gumball machines and stuff in the thing.
I don't know, but that's an interesting question, Kata. We should probably go back and find out. But I do risk arrest
Well, you know
if I
what?
go in that.
You know what I've noticed that they've taken a lot of vending machines out of the public schools.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about the gumball and the Mike and Ike machine. I want to know who put them there and who makes the profit from there. Do they get a cut of it? And what do they do with that money? Because that's in the public building. So are they using it for their own purpose, or is it benefiting the public? Or
Oh
is
no,
it
they
just benefiting the
Oh
officer?
no, they definitely get a cut of that for sure. If you're gonna put it in there, they're gonna get a cut of that for sure.
Well, then what I want to know what they do with the money and how much do they raise off of it?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that was for the officers, then it would be in the back. This is for the public.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I want to know what's done with that money.
Well, I might go back there, but I do risk arrest if I go back there.
Well, I mean, I'd hate for you to get arrested over a gumball,
No, you don't.
but
No, you were never trespassed. So
well, no, but
or even asked to leave. So
I
yeah,
agree.
it's a
But
public
but even
building.
if I was there's no reason to kick me out of there. It's a public building.
Right.
But I was almost arrested. Do you agree, Kata? Like
You were
they
almost
were.
arrested, but
Uh,
you're more. I
okay.
mean, you can go back there.
Yeah, I know I can go back there, but I'm not going back there without somebody there with me, like you. That's not recording because
Yeah.
I already know what's going to go on.
Right.
Because if I go up to the front desk there, oh well, let's just continue here
Okay.
with the video. Rabbit Hole Part 3, continue.
I've done a walk around. There's no complaint forms out here, so We'll just
Had somebody bring it.
okay. Look at that sign, that completely illegal sign that they never enforced. Well, they did on KDOT, and he didn't even go in the building. But there is a chance that this could get rough. So, Ellie and Jan, please be prepared. If anything happens, then please. If any other, if
They
we,
got 'em now.
but if you see other auditors, if we have,
Is the sergeant available?
In reference to,
Huh?
I have to tell the sergeant what it's in reference to.
Yes, it's regarding, Officer Bova.
Okay.
Okay, so let me pause it here because let me set this up. So KDOT's trying to put it in a complaint on Officer Bova, who you all witnessed littered. And now this officer's not interested in that. He's more interested in what I'm doing. So here we go.
Let me just say something to you. Do you see this sign right here?
I sure do.
Hey, actually, hold on, just before you start that, Colorado Revised Statute 16-3
Sir,
excuse
I
me,
need you to read this for me.
Yep, I read it and I see
You
it.
read that? Okay, just follow it, please.
excuse me.
Okay, guys, get ready.
So now he's more interested in arresting me than he is in taking a customer or a public complaint. So any thoughts before we continue here? Because it gets a little dicey here. Ellie, KDOT, did I lose you guys? Hold on.
No, can you hear
No,
me?
no, I'm good. I'll let you know when it gets to the point that I got an issue.
Okay,
Yeah, keep going,
KDOT.
brother.
All right, keep going. Here we
Yeah,
go.
keep going.
I
'Cause
mean,
here we
maybe he
go.
had to go pee, you know?
I'm going to hand the phone over to KDOT in case anything happens. It looks like this guy.
Hold
is,
on. Right there, KDOT's like, no, you ain't passing that phone off to me. He said, you came in with it, you're leaving with it. You ain't getting us both arrested, brother.
And if you notice, KDOT has my phone and I have KDOT's phone.
Yeah.
So
Right, but KDOT's like, nah, you hold that phone, brother.
let me go back and look at KDOT's face here. We got to.
Did I give that off for real? Did I give that expression off?
He's like, look at him. He raises his eyebrows and looks. He's like, brother, you ain't giving me that phone back. You hold on to it.
You did a full rock eyebrow thing there, bro. Like it was like.
Man, I didn't.
All right, here we go. No, I just didn't want them to take your phone, KDOT. That was my thinking. So here
Yeah,
we
but
go.
KDOT's like, no, you're taking this arrest. Welcome to the handcuff club.
Welcome to the handcuff club. Even though you did nothing wring.
Is
I probably didn't
going
want you
to
to
do
say. I
something.
probably was like, "Damn, did he just say that out loud?"
It's okay, Buster.
Just keep
There you
that. That's
go.
our plan. Just keep that between us.
Well, we had no plan. I mean, it just
Well,
spur
no,
the
we
moment.
did.
I'm like,
We did. We right before we went in. I said, "You'll hand off the phone to me if."
oh, okay. So see, I'm exonerated here. KDOT said it on video. So here we go.
You're exposing the plan.
Right. Here we go.
something here. So let's see what happens.
By the way, I'm getting really nervous at this. I don't know if you guys noticed. I was getting a little
Yeah, this was the closest you've come to being
Ellie, I'm not
arrested.
going to resist. I'm not going to say
but look at what I'm saying here.
anything.
Yeah,
I'm going to use my Fifth Amendment, and whatever they do, it's up to them. And that's, whatever happens, happens. But Ellie, you've got the number, and we may both be taken out of here.
And I ain't gonna lie, I was ready. I had it up. I was ready to hit dial because it was coming.
I know.
Honestly, can I be honest with you, MLH?
Yeah.
I did not want you to get arrested.
Why?
I don't know. It was just something in me. I knew you can handle yourself, but it was
Right.
just, I'm very protective
I
of the
know.
people that I love. You know,
I
what
know.
I'm saying? And
Look,
so I was just like,
I mean, we've been through this,
I
KDOT.
was
Like,
just like, I don't know.
that-
It something came over me. Was just like,
Yeah.
I don't want him to go to jail.
Well, I didn't want to go to jail either. Look, let me make it very clear to everybody.
No,
that's
but you were
listening.
prepared. You were prepared. But I don't know. It was just something. It was. I don't know. It was like It was like a little, like an inner child in me. It was just like, no.
Not MLH.
Not MLH. Don't take MLH.
Well, look,
he's the
I
kindest
definitely-
person on the planet. You know.
Look, I planned for it. Like we've
Yeah.
discussed this several times. Like I had a feeling that this was going to be the time, but it
Yeah.
ended up not being the time. Spoiler alert. But it very well can happen to me at any time.
Yeah, I
and
guess-
I'm
In
so
transparency, I guess I wasn't ready.
yeah. Well, look, it would have
He didn't
sucked.
want his little buddy to get arrested.
Dude,
I didn't
being
want to get
honest,
arrested
man.
either.
Yeah, I wasn't ready.
But look, this is a good point, K-Dot. The whole point is to try to not get arrested.
No,
right?
you're
Like,
right. You were fine. It was. I'm talking about me. I was. I just wasn't ready. I don't know. I just wasn't
Right,
ready to see you
right.
in
Well,
handcuffs. I just
look,
wasn't ready for that.
I mean,
So.
it is what it is. Nobody wants to see anybody get arrested, but
But I was
if it
proud of
happens-
you. How that look. We're gonna do this regardless. You know. Like,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
we were. It was righteous. There was nothing nefarious, and that's just it is what it is. So,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
here we go.
District 2, Ellie, District 2, and that's where my car is parked too. And I'm gonna actually let me hand the key over to KDOT just in case.
I was really worried about the shark right there. I'm like, fuck this. The shark isn't going to get impounded on this day. It's like-
Right.
and the dealership only gave me one key fob because they were short. They owe me a key fob, so I only had one. So this was it. KDOT was in control of the shark at this point.
There you go. Just in case, let me hand you these keys and this key too. That's my house keys and stuff. So actually, you can have this,
I never heard.
and then I'll hand this over to
That's
you.
somebody that has so
You
many
have
keys.
I have a question. I have
charger
a
for your
question.
phone.
All right. What's your question?
You announced everything you were giving, but then you said, and here's this. What was here's this? We want to know.
I'm trying to think. My
I
wallet.
think it was the battery. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was my wallet. think
Oh,
it was
I thought maybe he had a pack of condoms or something. He was like, here, take this.
no condoms. It was my wallet. It was my wallet.
In my car, there's one too
MLH
if you
is a-
need it in the middle console.
And look how nice I am. I'm like KDOT. There's a charger in the middle console. Oh, you know what it was? It was the battery pack. It was the battery pack, not my wallet. But I did hand my wallet over to KDOT too.
Yeah, you did.
But I in the process, I'm like KDOT. If you need to charge your phone, you can use that, or there's a charger in the middle console of the Shark. So
Look at look at my face. You could tell I didn't want you to go.
I know.
Well, that's because you were like, shit, I don't know how to drive your new car. I don't want that responsibility. That's the only reation why.
Very funny.
But you know what sucked
Very
is we
funny.
both drove there. We both had our cars there. So I don't know what
Yeah.
KDOT would have done, but he would have had the keys to the Shark. But anyways, continuing on.
So this is for that phone.
For this one.
That phone, yeah. And I have an extra one for you in my car if you need to get in there. You can get in there. You have the key. So here we go. They wouldn't even take KDOT's complaint. They decided that, I don't think we would do that, Lou, because they have surveillance and they'll easily grab those. So I'm taking my chances by giving them to KDOT. Actually, I should give you this too, KDOT. Here.
Got Mike's number in here?
I do. I have Mike's. Mike might need to help me out too, man. So if I go, obviously contact Mike. It's under Mike KDOT's cousin.
What's it under?
Mike, KDOT's cousin. Let's see. You got hold on. It's under phone.
KDOT doesn't know how to use an iPhone. That's why.
Contacts.
Very funny.
Right there. Okay.
Just say, I give him permission, but just give me.
Yeah, I'll give you the phone and everything. So
Here he comes back.
Do we have a sergeant coming?
Yes, kid. You have 3 coming.
Yes. I'm gonna ask you to
Okay,
read
so
this.
Colorado revised statute.
You guys can argue.
No. I need you to listen. I really do need you to listen. I need you to go get a sergeant. Okay. Thank you.
So understand that there's no audio or video recording allowed in this building. Okay? And it says so right here. It's in the building without prior permission from the chief of police. And U.S. CRS statute is right here.
So what will happen?
But he's subject to being arrested and charged.
So you're saying?
I'm actually
So-
charged.
Are you? Will you arrest me?
Oh yeah. So I want to be clear. So just so that you're on record, I guess.
Yeah.
You got your body camera. So what's your name? Badge
Officer
number?
Chase. So I'm just advising you.
No. What's your name and your badge number, sir?
Officer Chase. My badge number's right there.
No, I want you to say it. Thank you. Say it, please.
I did.
I didn't hear you.
Badge number 16052.
01652
Badge number 16052.
052. Well, where's the
So
zero?
you have to be a free sergeant. Stand right there.
Okay, I would like to speak to a sergeant here. Okay, so
Okay, everybody, enter the Three Stooges.
So sergeant.
Now, okay, real quickly, I'm sorry, I'm keep stopping the video, guys, but did you see that other sergeant, the gray-haired sergeant, try to go behind us? That was the start of something very unnerving for me personally. KDOT was busy trying to get his complaint in, but this guy was like ready to arrest me, the other sergeant. And you'll see some more nefariousness from him in Rabbit Hole Part 4, but let's continue on here.
You can't record.
Well,
Sorry, I'm
Can I
listening.
make a complaint or?
Yeah, you can talk to him, but you can't record me.
Why is he that close to me?
Here, see this sign?
Okay. Who am I making a complaint to?
Here.
Okay, so you're the main sergeant?
Yes, sir.
So you're the shift commander?
I'm the sergeant for sergeant or officer.
He said you
so-
can't record me, right?
Hold
Is that
on,
what
I
he
just wanted
said?
to give you.
Are you live streaming right now?
I'm sorry, I'm paying attention to this right
Okay.
here.
He's already been advised twice.
Okay. Can you please? Thank you. That's rude. All right. So, sergeant, right?
Yes,
What's
sir.
your name and badge number?
Sergeant Derek McCluskey, badge number 0706.
I will say this guy is the most cordial of all of them, Sergeant
Yeah.
McCluskey.
Thank you, sir.
Can I say why?
Go ahead.
I think he has a crush on KDOT.
Jesus.
Can we go outside this way? We're not violating any of our department policies. Is that all right?
Yeah,
This
would
way,
you like to
it's,
come outside?
yeah, this way it's a lot easier.
That's fine.
Totally fine. This way you can have your camera on, and then we're also not violating the chief's orders.
Yeah, the chief's orders aren't.
Wait,
law.
wait.
Well,
Wait, he just said that it was the chief's orders. Since when does the chief have the power to create these CR code laws?
He actually
Because
does.
I want these powers.
No, he actually doesn't have the ability to create CRSs, Colorado Revised Statutes, but he does reserve the right to come up with ordinances for buildings, just like a judge can issue an order. The chief has the power to come up with ordinances which don't trump the First Amendment. That's the whole point of us trying to get those signs down, because they mean nothing, and you won't be charged. They're hiding behind an obstruction CRS, Colorado Revised Statute, and we'll get to that Colorado Revised Statute here in just a second.
we'll discuss.
We'll let the detective know, and then if they want to review it with the DA's office, they can.
Sure thing. I'm not afraid. What do you think? I'm afraid?
So, well, we're on record that I'm making a complaint.
Yeah, no,
Everybody's body cams on?
Yes,
They are.
We have the conversation. That's right.
Okay. All right.
So this way we're taking that component out of the picture so I can talk to
Just
the.
for Colorado Revised Statute 16-3-311 states that I can record the sergeant just in the course of his duties at any time
Yes.
on
yes,
public property, and that's what I'm actually doing. So I want to clarify that. That's on record. That's on record.
MLH,
This one. Okay. So now I want to get to my complaint.
can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Real quick, we do have an update.
Okay.
Email. It just got.
All right. Let me Let's
He
see.
responded
Okay.
twice.
Oh, he's responded twice. Okay.
Hmm.
What did he say?
Well, I won't say.
What? Yeah. Are
Because
you?
we never said the original first email. So
Johnny, stay away from the gumball machines.
um. Did we collect the paper? Oh my goodness, he didn't go there, did he?
and we've also stated we've stated that in I believe we stated that outside that we didn't collect it.
Yeah. So let me go to rabbit hole part 4 here,
If I'm
and
not mistaken, I believe we stated that. In the
rabbit
video.
hole 4 is interesting, and I'll tell you guys why in just a second here as we look at the Saratoga casino here in Denver. But part 4 picks up where part 3 left off. And now we're on the outside, and I didn't cut out anything other than to just chop the video into 2 parts. But this part is interesting because we get to the crux of the matter, and we also get some startling admissions from Sergeant McCluskey, and we also get the added bonus of the other piece of shit sergeant. Can't remember his name now, but I need to file a formal complaint on him because he gets real close for the second time for the express purposes, in my opinion, to make me touch him so he could arrest me. He wanted to arrest me in the worst possible way. Is there anything you guys want to say before I start this video? Polly,
No, I'm
welcome.
good.
No,
Who else did I miss? I missed somebody. Harry Nova, welcome. All right, here's rabbit hole part 4. Started rabbit hole part 4.
Officer Nova was driving unit number 0175. I'm sorry, I don't want to go too fast.
I like his notepad there. Do you guys like that? That his hand is as much as he cares about taking this complaint here.
0175. Plate number Bravo Sierra Golf 800. And we witnessed him littering.
Okay.
So first of all, he was sitting there not doing anything. And that was the most suspicious because he was sitting there for quite a while. I'm just like, well, all the the cars, thefts and all that stuff's going on, and he's just sitting there and not doing anything. It's just that's a big concern because I don't pay him to just sit there. I pay him to patrol. To make
His
sure that
YouTube
he's
page.
Look, okay. He is super interested in my YouTube page, guys.
sure is.
But look how close he is to me, and that right there, I was like, I'm not having any of that.
Can you stand back from me? Jesus.
Oh yeah.
You're interrupting.
So
Just be quiet.
Where was he sitting at?
He was actually on Colfax and
Trenton.
Thank you, sir. He was on Colfax and Trenton.
Okay.
So,
He's got his hand on his hip because I just defeated his little plan there.
and what I had researched, if basically if I were to litter, that would be a $500 to $1,000 fine.
Okay.
And that's also CRS code, which I don't have on me right now.
Sure.
But I'm assuming if I were to litter, I would be in trouble. I would get ticketed for that, right? That would be a ticketable offense.
Depends on the circumstances. I don't like. I'm not.
No, stop right there.
Yeah. Depends on the
Littering never depends on the circumstances. Either you littered or you didn't. Either you can correct it or you can't. But it doesn't depend on the circumstances.
right. Real quickly, Johnny wanted to ask. So MLH and KDOT, can you get those taken down without an arrest? The answer is most likely, Johnny. But I have a feeling it's going to take somebody getting arrested to get those signs down. Unfortunately, but I think we can. It's just a lot harder to do, and you have to be really, really smart in your approach. And I don't want to tip my hand on everything that we got going, Johnny. But to answer your question, yes. but I happen to believe that it's going to take an arrest in order to get those signs down. But what were you saying, K. Dot? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh no, I was good.
Ellie, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, let's continue on.
Littering it depends on the
If
circumstances.
you were to see me if I were to litter in front of you right now,
Okay,
would that
so-
be
so-
a ticketable?
So Officer Woba,
Littered. He threw something out of his window, his driver window. It
okay,
was like a piece of paper,
okay.
balled up piece of paper, which also is concerning because I don't know if that was somebody's personal information.
Okay.
I don't know. That's concerning to me.
Okay.
And so, other thing that
And what day was this?
it was yesterday.
Okay, yesterday.
Yesterday.
About what time?
About what time?
I'd have to get a timestamp for you on that, but I can do that.
The Colfax and
Yeah.
Trenton?
Yeah, we could probably email you.
Yeah, I could email that.
And
to you.
matter of fact, we also called it in yesterday, so you can also check that record
Okay.
as well. As far as us actually talking to a person, and that's how we were able to get the name of that from the office. So I want to know what is the normal procedure for that. So we have video. Would you like us to show
Sure,
you?
I can get you my email. In fact, I can get you a contact with Internal Affairs. They can maybe get a quick read.
I don't
Because I
get my
have-
name. I don't
His name's
get it.
Kevin. I can give you a recommendation of Kevin.
Oh,
He's got
great.
YouTube
You were the wait. You never followed up on my.
You never
No, no. You were supposed to email me that note, sir.
How could I?
You said I gave you my information. I gave you my and I
Everything
told
was
hold on.
recorded.
This guy's a jackass right here, the one on the right.
You were
Man.
supposed to email me back that night.
I gave you the statement.
Excuse me. Do not interrupt me again.
No, I'm
That
excited.
is rude.
Look, this guy likes to interrupt because he likes to control the narrative.
I'm just saying. I
No, I don't want you to say anything.
This has been the rudest cop out of. These two have been very, very cordial. This guy is out of control.
I reviewed the body camera in your live stream.
Look, he can't let his ego go right here. This guy cannot let his ego go. He can't shut up.
Unfounded. It's on video, sir.
This guy cannot shut up.
Video. Yeah.
You said you almost got run over.
Yes, I did.
I watched it and I didn't see that.
Yeah, of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't, officer.
Of course you did.
So
So
I gave
Did
you
you check body camera?
No, hold
Did
on.
you do that?
Kevin,
Did you do?
Yeah, get the hell out of here. You're
So he
worthless.
went-
You worthless fuck. Get out of here.
Check body
Real quick,
cam.
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. So
So now that we got the two cordial
real quick,
ones,
MLH.
Okay. Back. So
Let's
you
get
threw
back.
something out of the
Sorry
car.
MLH.
Yes, go ahead.
So before, so I was wondering because I had asked. I said, "Why did he go back inside?" Yeah, the reason why he went back inside because I asked him, "Did he watch the body cams of the officers?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he was. That's when he was like, "Oh shit, let me go back
Yep.
inside."
Yep.
And with that, because he didn't watch the body cam, he just watched my video.
When
Yeah,
it gets
see-
hot, they gotta run.
I mean,
So
that
that's
guy
the
was
reason
out of,
why
okay.
he ran.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of history with KDOT and that officer. I can't remember the sergeant's name, but he absolutely should not have sergeant bars on his uniform because he is out of control.
Absolutely.
He loses his temper. He doesn't. He wants to arrest people, i.e., him getting behind me inside the lobby, and trying to get ready to arrest me, and
Right.
also trying to bump into me outside, which I luckily saw him out of the corner of my eye step towards me,
Right.
and I was like, "Whoa!" I caught everybody by surprise because I stepped back before he could even
Right.
touch me because I didn't trust him. And if I would have stayed in the position that I was, you saw how close he was. Did you guys not see how close he was to me? He would have definitely touched me, and I would have been arrested for assaulting a police officer if I didn't happen to catch him stepping forward. And he wanted me in the worst way. He didn't get his way inside, so he wanted to get his way outside. And then after that, KDOT took him to task on something else, by the way, which I did see that video, KDOT, and those officers definitely tried to run you over or hit you in some form or fashion. So, yeah, he didn't want to have any piece of KDOT because he knew KDOT was saying the truth. And like you said, the minute that you mentioned the body cams, he ran inside, and I gave him a piece of my mind because he is a piece of shit and he should resign. All
You
right.
should.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, let's continue.
What are you wanting to have done?
I want
would
him to get a
I-
ticket.
If I want him to be
Cited.
I want him to be retrained on that. I want him to be ticketed, just like a normal citizen, because you guys are supposed to be held up to the highest standard,
Sure.
even more than a regular citizen, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because you took an oath to the Constitution, right?
Mhm.
Right. So I want that done, and I want that in an email saying that you don't have to tell me if he was talked to, fine, great. But I want on record that he was charged for that.
So what I can do is I can take him with the Internal
Okay.
Affairs. They can get in contact with you. If you can, I can give you my business card right there.
Thank you. Can I have yours?
Yes.
And I'd like that other officer, because I like to file a complaint on him too.
So, and I'm assuming at this point you guys are probably familiar with Internal Affairs.
Yes.
So you're more than welcome to be able to contact them as far as making the complaint. I can get the business card for the other officer.
Okay. Do you know Boba? Is he under
Yes,
you?
he's actually my officer. That's why I'm out here to actually talk with him.
All right, perfect. Okay.
All right, because he's a day shift officer and a day shift supervisor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or he's under my team.
Got it. Okay.
That's
That makes sense.
specifically why I'm leading and contacting.
So you're just you're the day shift.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So with that all being said, I'm happy to take in that complaint. We'll forward that on. Now, as far as the criminal charges, that's out of my purview and on my pay scale, right? So that will be taken into the Internal Affairs and will be passed on.
So you can't ticket another officer?
For
You
that
cannot?
So
Okay.
Pause.
Right there.
Did you hear
I
that?
want to
question,
know
Jason?
Great
why.
question, MLH. Great question, by the way.
Yeah.
Great question.
Why could he not ticket another officer? What makes that officer have so much more power and give so many more what's the word I'm looking for? Excuses to get away with something because he's an officer.
Right.
Either he did wrong or he didn't do wrong. So are you telling me that if he killed somebody, you don't have the power to arrest him because that's above your pay grade?
Right.
You can't. You're in charge of him. You said you're over him, but yet you don't have the power to discipline him.
So
only
you're
the
right.
I have a
lieutenant?
problem with that.
What happens? What happens
Yeah.
if Boba is in plain clothes, goes up to somebody, shoots him in the head, and he's guilty of sin? Somebody calls the cops, and heaven forbid that this guy shows up, the sergeant. He's not going to arrest him because it's out of his pay grade, right?
Mm.
So
That's not a good look on you, Sarge.
not a good look, man.
Not a good
So-
look on you.
Yeah, it doesn't look good because he's right there. He's saying that their officers make excuses for others because nobody's got the power to do that. That doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
Because of the thin blue line.
Let's
was that?
let's continue.
Can you
because-
rewind back a little bit when he admitted that? When you asked
Yeah.
that go back to your question and then
Yeah. Let's there we go.
There we
Okay. Here we go.
So that will be taken into the Internal Affairs and will be passed on.
So you can't ticket another officer?
For
You
that
cannot?
specific- So
Okay.
for what you're suggesting, I'm
you see he was trying to think of he was
powers
trying-
of people that are above me.
Okay,
Those
I
decisions,
understand that, but I just want to make it clear. So if you were out with this sergeant,
Yeah.
and I do appreciate you too for your demeanor and him as well.
Yeah.
So I'll give commendations to you guys, but that other guy's out of
Alex,
control.
I'm not trying to be mean
No,
about
no,
that. I'm not trying to-
I'm just
Also,
I'm just
I
clar-
understand your-
let me
that's why I don't
let me
care.
clarify something real quick. Let's say you and this other sergeant were out and about. You're being an upstanding, good officer, and he happens to throw his Burger King wrapper on the street. You're not allowed to cite him. Is that what you're saying?
Do you feel like that would be a better way to address it, or versus as a peer saying, "Hey, that's not cool, dude.
Well,
Let's take care of that."
Well, maybe,
And at
but
the same time, like I said, I'm just trying.
So
to be
if he refused to pick
reasonable
it
to
up-
everybody here.
right.
Right.
If
So,
he
and
refused to
if I
pick
can
it up,
make this as a training opportunity for my
Mhm,
officer,
mhm.
I would love that, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously, yes, obviously people are watching us.
Right.
We are supposed to be held to a
Right,
higher standard.
right.
We're supposed to be exemplary, right?
Pause.
First, we do see.
Yes.
What part of the training do they learn not to litter in District 2? What day is that training on? I just want to know, because he said, do you think this would be a better training opportunity? No, I think that, they should have common sense at this point.
Right.
Mommy and daddy told them not to do it,
Right.
and they didn't listen to mom and dad. So what makes him think he's going to listen to this guy and say,
Right.
oh, okay, I'll pick it up?
Right.
Don't you think it would be better? No, I don't think it would be better. I think he would learn if he hit his pocket.
Right. It would be better if he got a ticket. That's what would make it better. If he actually was held to the same standard that any normal citizen was held to. Here's your ticket. I saw you litter. Or we did an investigation. We found that you littered. Here's your ticket. That would be the way to get him to understand that he can't do that. I agree 100%. All right. Continuing on.
East Colfax. There is trash everywhere. Do we cite everybody that we see for dropping trash?
I'm not
No.
asking about
And I'm
citing other
not- I'm-
people.
Again, I'm just
So
saying
you're
big
trying to
picture.
equate. So you're kind of muddying the waters here.
Sure.
What I'm asking specifically, if you were to specifically see somebody throw trash in your presence, whether it be a
Refer
regular
back to internal
citizen,
affairs and make them the determination on whether citation. is
okay, so
issued.
you would turn him into internal affairs. You would be a whistleblower at that point
It
and say,
depends on the circumstances, and that's just being honest.
Well, okay, so this is the problem that I have, because I want to ask a question. So Eternal Affairs.
You didn't answer that question.
No, he didn't. He was a politician there. I know he didn't answer. So
Yeah, he's not gonna go to Internal Affairs to report somebody for littering.
No. No.
Excuse me, Internal Affairs, I gotta dine out my friend in the thin blue
Right.
line because he threw paper out. He's
Right.
not gonna do that.
He's
And
not
I
gonna
don't
do it.
I don't think he liked that term whistleblower.
I
I
see.
really don't
Why do you
think
think
he
I
liked
brought it
it.
up, K. Dot?
That
Why
was
do you think I
beautiful
brought
how
it
you
up?
did that. That was beautiful how you
All
did
right.
that.
Here we go.
Violation, right? They investigate policy violations. They don't necessarily investigate.
They'll also investigate criminal matters as well.
Okay, so they will determine to give that to whoever the city attorney is.
So if you can email me that information, I'll be happy to get you in contact with. So I'll refer this information. You can send me the video. I'll be happy to send that. And also attach
That's
that.
fine,
to
I'll do that.
Internal
But I
Affairs
just
case.
want you to answer my question.
Sure.
So that once that's finished, once the investigation goes, that's sent to the city attorney or you or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they determine whether to charge or whatever, depending on evidence.
And honestly, that's getting out of my experience and knowledge base as
Okay.
far as when they choose
That's
charges
fair.
or not.
That's bullshit.
I give him
But-
credit for at least admitting that he doesn't know a fucking thing, because that's what he said. That's I don't know.
Honestly, I don't even believe that.
I know I don't believe it either, but he admitted it on camera, so he admitted that he doesn't know shit. That's what
Well,
he
what's he
admitted.
gonna do, MLH? I mean, really, you're being a little unfair at this point. I'm gonna have to give it up to him because on day one's training for any police department is always the thing. Never rat out your partners or
Right.
another fellow in blue. Day
Right.
one, that is given to him. So
Right.
in all fairness, he knows, but they're told that's the secret code.
Right. Let's continue on with more bullshit from Sergeant McCluskey.
You see, there's obviously times when the city attorneys charge on officers and not. Times the DAs choose or not. Sometimes refer saying, you know what, this is better handled in house.
Okay.
Can we address that way through an internal discipline measure versus a criminal measure?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. So
Obviously, because there's a big difference between, for lack of other words, a smaller level violation or
Mhm.
crime versus murder,
But let
sex
me-
assault, stuff
right.
like that. Yeah,
I
of course,
understand.
we're not.
I get
We're
it.
not saying, hey, we should handle those major things
Right.
in house, right?
But let me say something here real quick, and just give me a second to speak here. You mentioned something about Colfax, how trashy it is, and there's a bunch of trash and stuff. Okay, I understand that, but part of the problem is nobody cares. Nobody cares to pick up the trash on Colfax, so that's why it looks the way that it looks.
That is
Do you understand what
I
I'm saying?
certainly won't dispute
I mean, I'm a
that.
little different cat. I'll pick up trash when I see it, as long as it doesn't look like maybe there's a needle in it or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
then,
yeah.
Something like that. So I just think that that's kind of a double standard that, you just let it happen. What you're saying is it's officer discretion and, whatever happens,
So are you
happens.
suggesting, and this is what I'm asking you, you feel like if we see somebody littering on Colfax, we should be cutting them tickets every time we see that?
I'm not suggesting that because you guys got better things to do, but if it's blatant right in front of you, I know for a fact that if you saw an average citizen and they did it right in front of you, and I've seen it before with homeless people, with just normal people that get ticketed, you wouldn't do it for an officer. We have to go through a different channel.
Different channels. I see what you're saying with that.
Right. And so, and to answer that question, as far as
Do you feel like everybody should be cited?
No. I'll answer that question. So this is how community looks at it. Hey, dude, I just seen you drop that. Do you mind picking that?
Yeah.
That up? We're kind of treated like a trespassing situation, given an opportunity for her
For an educational opportunity.
Right. Right.
But an officer, that looks worse on you guys because it's just like, well, you guys are supposed to be contributing to the community. You're not polluting it. Sure. You know what I'm saying? That just looks really, really bad. Like if I'm a security officer protecting a particular building, right, and I'm over here just littering and stuff like that, that's going to look worse on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm supposed to be protecting them.
No. And like I said, your not job. I'm saying your activism is calling on us to be a higher standard. And that much I do appreciate. And that's not being a thing or being blowing smoke. Is it frustrating when we have to keep eyes on our own stuff with that? But you know what? Like,
He just said something interesting there. Is it frustrating that we're out there keeping them accountable? It's frustrating to Sergeant McCluskey.
Yeah.
who watches the watchers? I get that.
I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind because as long as I'm doing my job, I have nothing to worry about.
No, and that's why I don't have issues with body worn
You
cameras.
guys go ahead and do. If I were like, I could do. We're at a traffic stop or whatever, and I was one of you guys. You know what I'm saying? And a person with a camera comes up. First of all, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Officer such and such, badge number such and such. Here's my card. If you need anything, let me know.
Sure.
Go ahead. As long as if you have anything or any questions, just let me know. If he's clearly on the public sidewalk, I don't feel threatened. He literally has two hands on the camera. Have no issue. Let me know if you need anything. I'm gonna go back to doing what I'm doing. Easy, quick.
Yep.
And I've encountered officers like that.
Yep.
Several officers, and they had no. And it was a warning video, and I love warning videos.
Yeah.
Because those are also, but those are also education because it teaches other officers how to conduct themselves.
Thanks,
Okay.
these ladies.
Bluto, welcome.
So,
Nice to have you here.
That's also
Hey, Harry Nuts.
also for understanding as to why.
What's up, Harry?
Video cameras inside there. Why there's a chief's order is because if somebody does want to
That's a personal.
report a crime,
That's a
personal.
personal.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
No,
And I'm just
let
so
me
aware.
talk about
And I'm not
that.
trying to be mean about that.
No, I know you're not trying to be mean, but that sign is totally unconstitutional, and we will eventually get those signs
And
taken
that's, you know
down.
what, and that's where
So,
you're important
hold
to
on.
fight that, and I
Hold on.
respect that.
And I
Hold on.
honestly, with District 5, I'm currently in a lawsuit with one officer, with two officers right now. And I'm telling you, they're going to be hurt because I'm telling you right now that financial, that no qualified immunity.
Yeah,
And
it's
take that-
so.
that serious.
Look,
Send it to,
I'm not trying to cause a problem either, and we have a right to go in there. We have personal business in there.
Right.
So if I'm going in there with camera and audio and video recording, then that should be perfectly okay with you guys. It's okay in District 6. I've been in it with the camera over there.
District Court.
District 4 several times. District.
They tried it and they lost it.
Yeah. So
And that's why I'm saying, like, you know what? You have that court case, we have that. If it's unconstitutional, it's shut down by a judge, great, clears it up for us.
right.
I'm just going based upon what I'm told at this level.
Yeah, ordinance. Look,
And that's why
You're- you're law enforcement. You guys are
Let's just
look.
go outside and hang out here.
you guys are law enforcement. I agree, and that's cool. I'm glad you did that, but I would have preferred to have the conversation in there just for that reason.
Stop.
Yes.
He said he was law enforcement.
Right. And I'm
Then
calling him out.
enforce the littering law.
Right.
I agree. I totally
You're
agree.
law, but he said, "Oh, but we could see if it was murder or sexual assault, but it's just a petty crime." But
Yeah.
that's not your job to think. Your job is to enforce the law.
Laws.
You just
Right.
said it, and you're not willing to do it.
He's not
And you
willing to-
were getting ready to arrest MLH over a policy,
right.
not a law.
Over an
But you were
ordinance.
so quick to arrest MLH over a policy, but you wouldn't arrest one of your fellow officers over a broken law that was committed.
Right. And by the way, these body cams were on in there. Why aren't they trying to arrest each other for breaking that? Right?
Just
Am
saying.
I right? or is
Well, I
that
don't know
just-
what makes the difference of you being in that lobby versus being outside.
Right.
Well, there's no difference. It's just that their ego can't let that fucking ordinance go, and
No,
that's why KDOT.
this is where they'll spew their feeling. This is where they
Right.
become the feelings police. They'll say,
Right.
"Oh well, we have witnesses, or we have victims of domestic violence or any type of crime happening to them. I'm pretty sure they don't want to be on camera." Okay, all right, let's just use your analogy, right? Well, why the fuck do you have cameras on in the lobby? I'm sure if they were so shook up about a crime that was committed to them, doesn't that mean that you would need to shut those cameras off too? Because I can request that and post that on YouTube as well. So you make absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. None.
Well, and not to mention, and I think we do get to it in this portion of the video, but they have places where they can take people that are private away from anybody that wants to exercise their First Amendment in that lobby.
And you
Right?
should. I think you
Right,
should.
exactly.
I
You
think
should. They should have taken you to a
If it-
conference room.
Yeah, you
Right.
let me because then I'm gonna sit you down. I'm gonna get. Hey, did you need any refreshments or anything like that? Let me get you a cup of water, coffee, some juice.
Anybody
or
need a
whatever.
gumball?
I want to make sure this person is. You stupid. I'm gonna make sure this person is incredibly comfortable to where that I can get as much information from what happened to them as possible. That's how you do it. That's how you do a good interrogation. That's how you don't even make a good interrogation. Doesn't even feel like an interrogation. It feels
Right.
like a conversation. Literally.
Right. But see, herein lies the other problem, KDOT. They don't fucking interrogate. They don't investigate. They don't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
So that's another frustrating aspect of all of this. They don't
If
look
I-
at what
if-
happened here.
If I was the chief of police, look, take these dumbass signs down. First of all, I never wrote the signs. It was Payson. Another thing, take their ass back to the conference room where they feel comfortable, and they don't have to worry about other people hearing their conversation. If anything, you're putting them more at risk than anything.
You know
But-
what I found their solution to all of this is, KDOT?
Mhm.
When somebody comes in with a camera into the lobby of a police station, you know what their solution to, usually their solution is?
Mhm.
To not serve the public at all. I've been to District 4 several times with the camera, and you know what their solution is? Just ignore anybody that comes to the counter. Just ignore anybody. That's their solution. Instead of saying, what do you have going on here? Oh, this is a domestic dispute thing? Okay, let's take you to the back here and talk about it. They
And
never do that.
by the way, I will. I'm gonna contact my attorney because he does have an actual sheet that Payson wrote up as far as how to deal with First Amendment auditors, and I want to. He has a copy of it, so I'm going to ask him to send me that copy. And
Does it say no contact?
I don't believe so.
Run the other way as soon as you see it.
But it does make us look more of an aggressor.
I'm sure it does.
It's
But
kind
I'm
of like
curious, what is the difference between MLH recording outside versus recording in the lobby? Is it the camera or the fact that, because you had a phone too,
I did.
so is it that the video is going, that it has capability, or the phone in general itself? I mean, I'm just curious, what are they so scared of?
Well, what would they have done if let's say a sexual assault victim came through, right? And I turned my camera that way, not knowing whether or not they were a sexual assault victim or not, and I camered them walking into the building. What would they have done? You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't have done anything to me there. So what's the
They could
difference?
have walked by you outside. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If I would have recorded them on the outside, would they have arrested me then? Of course not.
And
So-
actually, if it was officer safety, wouldn't they be safer inside the building instead of standing outside where somebody could be doing a drive-by
Yeah,
and shoot them while they're standing there? I mean, I'm just saying, if it's officer safety,
Yeah.
inside the house would be the place that they'd want to be.
right, but it's just twisted logic here. So, look, before we move on, I want to tell everybody in chat, and by the way, Harry Nuts, thank you for being here. Bluto, thank you for being here as well. we're discussing the rabbit hole that KDOT and I have been going down for a few days now,
Yep.
and it culminated with me almost getting arrested. And there's still more to the story because KDOT and I have received emails that we'll discuss probably in Rabbit Hole Part 5. I'm sorry, Part 6 at a later time. But this whole thing is about process for me. If an average citizen wants to complain about an officer, it's pulling teeth, and it should not be this hard. This is the overarching.
Well, it's not pulling teeth. They don't have power. He told you that. We have no power.
Yeah.
So
well,
even if it's some petty, go to IA. You know, he spits his gum out on the ground, whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as it's petty, it's okay. So petty shoplifting, petty theft, no, the officer won't be charged. It has to be, you know, something really serious that you catch on camera. And whatever you do, don't have a marker in your hand in Denver.
yeah, because you will be shot and killed.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Right.
Look, Johnny Bravo says, good point. All good points. Noel says the recording ban extends to many public buildings. That's true too. I know Noel is in the area, so you know as well as we do. It extends not only to police stations but a lot of public buildings.
In
But
Denver,
the funny
yeah.
thing is, it's only enforced when guys like KDOT and myself go into the building. I mean, they don't give
They also have that policy at the lake. Was it the lakeside? The lakeside police, or you know, where they don't want you recording in there too.
Yeah.
Because obviously you know DMA and Regan and all them. So they made that. But I will tell you this. I'm gonna keep up on that story because the DA of Jeffco is thinking about investigating them.
Yeah, it would be interesting if we went down there, KDOT, and see what
Yeah.
happened if we went.
I would
to
love to
Lakeside.
go down there. I would love to go
Because
down there.
Lakeside is an interesting thing because it's run by one family.
It's literally a
and,
family business.
yeah, and the judge is also the police chief, and the daughter runs.
not the
is
judge,
like,
not the judge, not the judge.
oh
The
well,
judge-
look,
no, the judge is separate. That's probably like the only person. But hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they were related either. But the police chief is a mayor, and he's also the fire chief as well.
yes, that's what I yeah, okay.
How
That's
the hell
where
do
the-
you? I mean, damn, you're that. I've never heard of that.
And the daughter is like the clerk, and
Yep.
like she's got all kinds of titles as well. It's fucking crazy. So if we do end up getting arrested there, we'll definitely be convicted or whatever. We'd have to definitely appeal to a higher court
For
because
sure.
holy
And that
shit.
is the definition of double dipping.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. And they probably
Yeah.
get paid separately like that too. Like you get your
Of
check
course they do. Each title gets paid differently. That's why I said it's double dipping.
double dipping, exactly. King
So
Solomon
wait,
says
so I wonder, does he get 3 different checks?
yes.
Every position title
Whoa.
gets a check.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
KDOT.
Those figures already approved by the city council, paid for by taxpayers. It's not a volunteer position, so they get paid a separate check for that. Absolutely 100.
Well,
Yeah,
now I'm trying
yeah.
to figure out, well, who's city council? And do they
There
have
is
a
no
city
city-
council?
there's no
think there's a
city council. No
Well,
city
they could
council.
be city council.
They
'Cause
might
he's
be
been,
their own
he's
city
been
council.
he's been mayor for 12 years.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
It's
They
a
said he's been
weird-
mayor for-
Did he
it's
appoint
weird.
himself or was he elected?
I think he
Appointed
might have.
himself.
I think he appointed himself.
He appointed himself.
We would
Yeah.
have to go out. I'm. That's a great question because
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing any elections or anything for the
Yeah.
Lakeside.
No elections there. Solomon says he spits his gumball on the ground. All a conflict of interest, Bluto says. Littering and double dipping, not good, Harry Nova says. Welcome, Harry Nova. Nice to have you in here. Let's continue with the rabbit hole. Did you guys have anything else before we continue?
No, you're good.
Well, no. Also, that King Bluto also confirmed each position will get a separate paycheck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
100.
Yep.
Wow. So this dude is rich. as
So you
shit.
guys could have looked really good. And now I got this guy over here threatening me with the DA looking at video to see if they want to arrest me or do whatever they need to do. So that's BS too. And I'd like to file a complaint on him. That's why I want his.
I'm happy to get yours.
Yeah,
for you.
right.
All right. So, and I would please email me that information.
I
I
will
will
do that. I will
routines,
do,
and
hold
I'd
on.
rather be handled that way.
Real quick. For you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have a question.
I really want
All
you
right,
guys to make
hold
it.
on.
Why did he
Yeah.
say email that information? Why didn't he say, you know what? Let's go in. You have a legitimate concern. Let's go in and sit down and show me your video and look at it right there.
That's a good
Why
question.
email it?
They're
Why
not
couldn't he
interested.
take you? Exactly.
They're not interested, Ellie.
Because he can pass off and get somebody in a higher up to give you a better reason on no, or this isn't going any further than he can think. If he actually sees it for himself, then he might have to say, yes, he did. And he doesn't want that.
Right.
So he can say, well, from the video that I saw on my computer where, you know, the speed is different or I can't change it. I really couldn't tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you
And-
could have pointed it right out to, listen, it's at 618. Here's where it is. This is what he did. And look, then he would know for sure. But he doesn't want to.
Right. That's exactly right. He's not interested. You knew that from when he used his hand as his paper, right? The minute that he took his pen and used his hand to try to write down the vehicle number, he wasn't interested in anything. So
Yeah.
let's continue on here.
To Colorado Revised Statute 16-3-311.
3-311.
That combats that 18-17 I think 18-9 whatever.
If you need the revised statute on littering, I have that too.
No, and so, obviously, we're going off what our city attorneys are
that
telling
sign
us.
is going to get you guys in trouble. And
So
there's
what we're
no
wanting to
qualified
do, and this is these behind conversations, like
Okay.
anybody
Mhm.
else would do. Hey, if this is not allowed, if this is illegal, let us know. So because we obviously, I don't want to expose myself. I don't want to violate any
Right.
sort of.
There you go. He doesn't want to expose himself or violate himself.
Right.
There you
Exactly.
go. Thanks for being honest.
Exactly.
Finally, you don't want to
I-
expose yourself or violate yourself.
Any
Thank you
liability.
so much.
No, it's not that they're worried about violating any policies or laws. They're worried about exposure. That's what
Yeah.
they're worried about.
Correct.
They're worried-
They don't want to leave themselves liable.
Right. Right. So
Right.
let's continue on here because it gets even better.
Mm-hmm.
Faith, what our side is telling us, right?
Well,
Now, again, when you have.
Hold on,
kids,
stop.
Yes.
Did he just say our side?
Yes.
Go
Who
back.
is our?
The police.
Hmm.
The police.
I thought we were all in this together.
No, unfortunately,
God, such delusions I'm getting today.
I told you, Ellie, it gets even better. So let's continue on. This is welcome to Rabbit Hole Part 4, whereas McCluskey puts his foot in his mouth several times. Here's the continuation.
It is proven that.
Right.
Right.
You don't need a court case for this, all right? This is common sense, right? You have the Constitution, which is at the very top of the chain, right? That First Amendment activity, right? Protected under the Constitution. And then you have lower level ordinance for a locality. What would you rather enforce? The Constitution or a local ordinance that means absolutely nothing that could get thrown out in court and will get thrown out in court?
And it has got thrown out.
And that's why
I'm
those
example.
conversations are about having. I'm going by what we have as reporters. I'm trying to be as respectful as I can.
No,
with all this.
I understand.
I appreciate you telling me, especially the CRS. At this point, please email them me that information.
I will.
Got that
He didn't
information.
answer.
He's not interested in the
He
Constitution,
totally
guys.
totally did not answer the question, and that was
Nope.
a legitimate question.
Email me all my work. Email me the CR code. Email me all
Right.
that stuff, and I'll see what I can do. But
But you see
You
how
know.
uninterested in the Constitution he is?
yeah,
Like,
he doesn't care.
He's like, fuck that. I swear no to it just to get through, but come on. You know, here we go. Let's continue on with more bullshit out of McCluskey's mouth.
And what I can do is I will go back and get you the card, okay?
Okay, I have one more question for you. Why did it take 3 sergeants to come out for one complaint?
I don't know.
4-1 for MLH on this one, man. I don't know
That's
why.
a great question.
Was that not a great question to ask? Why did it take 3 fucking sergeants? Because they wanted to arrest
That
us.
was
Why
a
didn't
great
he
question.
say? Why didn't he say because we were planning on arresting you? Why didn't he say that? He should have just said it.
You don't know?
No.
So you guys just all decided, oh, let's
I
go
would
and
like to have a witness sergeant with me.
okay, that's fine. I'm in 2, but 3.
The third, I can't say.
Right. For a guy with a camera and
I
a
can't.
guy with a phone.
He said I can't say.
Yeah, I can't say. I can't say.
I
Yeah, he's
can't
not
say.
allowed. That was in training day too.
I can't say we were
I'm not
planning on
allowed. I'm
arresting
not at
you.
liberty to say that. Divulge that information to you. I'm not at liberty to divulge that information to you. So.
Okay, let's continue with more horseshit from Rabbit Hole, Part 4 from McCluskey.
Well, whatever it is, he was
here's my
very.
question for you guys.
Yeah.
Was I respectful? Was I?
No, you were fine. I don't.
Oh, now
look,
he's fishing for
look,
compliments.
Right, Ellie.
He's
Good-
looking for
Yes, you
affirmation.
professionally answered that you can't answer.
Right, exactly. Well, you didn't answer.
You
he
were
didn't answer
professional
any-
about that.
He didn't answer any of our questions, but he was cordial about it. So let's
Well, I
continue.
did press him. He answered my questions because I went right back to it, and he thought
I
he
know,
was gonna get
I know.
away with that shit.
I know,
Like,
but
fuck
see,
that.
I don't like wasting my time with these fucking idiots, K-Dot, because they never really give you an answer. You know, they.
But here's
they-
the thing. That's
Hey,
but that's the
Gregory.
thing. That's the thing. But we don't want to. What makes us different about any other news organization is that fuck that. We're gonna get the goddamn answers, or we're gonna make you squirm like a little bitch. One or
Right.
the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Either way, we're gonna expose you. You know,
Right.
and we
Right.
did, and you did. You did a beautiful job. Period.
This is why I consider journalism a big part of my channel, guys, because I asked the question. So here we go. There may be another question or two, but let's check it out here.
You guys
Yeah,
think
there
that?
is. I text
Right.
you one.
Oh yeah.
I won't even
No.
remember. Oh, yeah,
Listen.
you weren't,
Right. Let me tell you, okay? Very rarely is it that we come across officers that are upstanding officers that do their duty. You two have done your duty today, but I don't know what you guys have done off duty. You know, or
And that part,
or on duty. You know,
or you know what, you
out
catch
and
me on a
about or
bad day,
whatever.
you catch me on a bad day.
I agree. I understand. But what I am telling you, we two aren't the normal, 1A guys that just go around just antagonizing and doing all this and that and the other. We highlight good officers too. Like he said, I would much rather go to a video or go to a scene where you guys are at and everybody treats me good and I highlight each and every one of you and give you guys commendations. I would much rather do that than the type of stuff that I see on a daily basis.
Nope, that's
So
fair. And I-
this, other than that guy who had it in for him, obviously, and then he also got really close to me right here, very threatening manner. That's why I moved to this side, because you don't just step up to a man within 2 inches of his face and think that he's not going to do something. So he was definitely trying to provoke me and provoke the situation and trying to irritate me with what stream and all that. That's none of his business unless he wants to go to YouTube later and check it out. Okay, so that type of behavior, you guys earned your stripes probably, and you guys are probably there for a reason. I don't think he's there for a reason. I think he just, I don't know why he's there either, because he's had bad interactions
I
with
do have
that
a
guy
question.
too.
What is the issue, Joe? Okay, I'm just kind of curious. That's all. I was just more curious.
And there he's doing the same exact tactic as the other officer. Which
It was
which
cool.
one are you? Like
He did it politely. That's all.
he did it politely.
Yeah, but
didn't-
he already knew. He just
He
wanted
knows.
confirmation. He knew.
He knows. He knew it was K-Dot's. And they know of mine too. These guys have had daily briefings on K-Dot and myself. Whether it's Denver, Aurora, I wouldn't be surprised if Lakewood had a few on me. They have briefings. We know this because we have people on the inside that have verified this. So you're not doing yourself a favor by acting dumb, even though you are dumb. So let's continue on with more bullshit dumbness from Officer McCluskey here.
Okay, I like you.
But
No, I haven't been on YouTube that I'm aware of. So
I haven't been on YouTube that I'm aware of. I doubt that, but let's.
Yeah, if you don't know that you're on YouTube, then I mean,
You know you're not.
Jesus, you should not be in charge of having a gun or a taser or anything else.
Right, exactly. Here, continue on.
all right,
I really do. I think
and I'm not trying to blow smoke about this. I'm saying yes, I'll take it.
Yes, you are.
I'll set it up.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But let's continue.
It will be a decision if they want to. However, they
I
powers
just,
that be. Because
honestly, Sergeant, I
three stripes
don't-
doesn't have
I
enough.
just
One-
don't want this to be a Henry Warren situation where, with the good old boys and backing each other
I
up.
can guarantee you I will have a conversation with Officer Bob about that, because if he could have not thrown that out and avoided all of this,
Then it would have
I'd
been a
be
much
so
better
much
thing.
happier right now.
And we would have
And that's
too.
how-
We would have too.
And that's why
Honestly.
I'm specifically going to sit down and talk with him.
Right.
Okay.
throw it in the trash.
Right. It's not a big
Just
deal.
leave it in the car.
Right.
Throw it out at the end of the night. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, you should be cleaning out the car.
Well,
Yeah.
they're
Making
supposed
sure-
to at the end of shift.
Okay.
Stop.
There we
Stop.
go.
There we
we
are.
go.
Another person admitting that they should be doing it,
At
but
the
they
end of
knowingly
this.
know that they don't.
Yep.
Serious problem.
Right. Paulie has the ultimate question here. Did anyone get a reach around? No, we did not. Maybe they did when they went back in, Paulie. But KDOT and myself didn't get one. So just to clarify that. Great thing about giving you the runaround, that's the best thing they're good at, giving you the runaround, impounding BS up your butt. Yeah, that's exactly right, Bluto. They know KDOT from the BS District 5 arrest, Noel says. Oh, so you know of that arrest too, Noel? Yes,
Yeah,
yes. They
Noel is a day one.
yeah.
Noel-
Yeah,
he's
Noel's
been
an old
rocking with
school.
me. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
an old school fan.
Yeah. Jonathan, welcome to chat, man. Another spoonful of BS. How does it taste? All. Yeah, exactly. So here we go. Continuing on, finishing up our Rabbit Hole Part 4 video discussion.
Oh, okay.
Not saying it happens
Okay.
every night. This is
I
human
get it.
nature. Some guys leave their cars scratched. That's what happens.
I get it.
But
What's funny about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is funny about officers leaving their patrol cars a shithole?
Yeah, he's all smiling, laughing. Not saying that they do. I mean, they leave stuff in there. Well, if they leave stuff in there, I'm sure somebody they had in the back could have left something in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's nothing. That's not a flex. That's nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
it's not a
I don't
flex.
find anything funny about it at
I
all.
don't either. And it could be a very dangerous thing to keep your vehicle untidy. But let's continue.
But the same point is if you're leaving somebody else's car and it's dirty and you don't like it,
I hear you.
but if you're throwing it into the public and think that it's okay for somebody else,
Yeah.
I see. Nothing
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, so what he's saying, I mean, he's covering it up, but what he's saying is what they really feel is, oh man, this other officer left this trash in here. That sucks. So I'm gonna throw it out for the public to
Yeah, because they don't like it.
because they don't like it, right? Well, nobody else likes it either, fuckface. All right, here we go.
Thing I would
And
say is
like I
not a-
said, it makes
not
it
okay.
it makes it even worse that you just said that there's a lot of trash on Colfax, and yet we've got an officer littering on
And I'm not
Colfax.
disputing it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
That's-
saying, and I agree.
He didn't dispute it. Did you hear it? He didn't dispute it.
But my point was saying yes, but at the same time, we're not enforcing everybody. So.
No, I understand
That's
that.
what, but at the same time, yes, we're being held up to a higher standard.
I can tell you, if I was an officer and I had a guy in my car and he threw something out the window, I think I would pull over and I'd say, "Hey, dude, pick it up and bring it back in the car or throw it in that trash can or whatever the case may be." You know what I'm saying? And you kind of seem like that type of guy that you might do that too. You know?
Depends on who the person is.
And I get
I don't-
Why does it depend on the person who it is? So if it's your
Yeah.
good buddy, you're not going to tell him to do that. But if it's somebody that you don't like, then you're going to do that. Like,
And if you're behind on your quota tickets, you might want to write that
Jesus.
out.
Jesus fucking Christ, these people are just stupid as fuck.
Depends on. So basically, if the chief were to do it in front of him, he wouldn't say shit.
He wouldn't do anything about it, right? So let's
Well,
continue.
he wouldn't do anything if it was a lowly, foot patrol guy either. You got to stand behind the men in blue.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Got to.
Back the blue until it happens to you if you're a
Yep.
bootlicker out there. So, and if you think this is petty, it's not petty. So let's continue with more horse fuckery.
You want to be yanking a guy out of the car if he's going to be upset and start causing. I don't want to escalate a situation if it doesn't need to be escalated.
No, I hear you. And here's the thing. I get the point to where that it might be a small thing, but if I'm in management, and so management 1-on-1. If you don't correct, I'm not talking about micromanagement.
Small things become big things.
It can become bigger things.
I totally agree with you on that.
Another thing I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
At no point did this sergeant ever say, "Oh no, I know that officer. He would never do that."
No, he
He
didn't.
admittingly said, "I'll talk to him. It was wrong. I'll talk to him." So he knows that he's one to do something like this
Mm-hmm.
because he was not shocked. He didn't say, "Oh no, I have a hard time believing. Oh, I'd have to see proof of this." At no point did he say any of that.
Right, right. All right, let's finish it off here.
I appreciate you, gentlemen.
I'm
What-
actually glad. I'm glad this conversation, it started out a
What-
little rocky, but as we
right,
started talking more,
right.
really kind of
And the
slowed
only
down
reason
there.
why, and I will say, the only reason why we did go outside was because of your demeanor.
Like you said.
Right. And
My whole
here,
point is because it's like, if this is gonna, if that's gonna cause a reason why we can't communicate, then let's just take that out of the picture. So we can
well,
actually-
hold on a second.
Right?
What would have happened if we would have stayed in that lobby? And we tried to have the same conversation maybe in the corner over here out of everybody's purview here. Would any one of you guys have arrested us for having a civil conversation?
So I can tell you how I personally,
Mhm.
if it was cold out, a lot of snow and all that stuff, you know what I would have done? You know what, let's just go to this next.
So why is it okay when there's snow outside, but it's not okay any other time of the year? Okay, that's pretty important distinction there.
But wait a minute, though. If that's an option, why didn't
Right.
he do that?
Why didn't he do that? Exactly right. Why didn't he say, gentlemen, we're not really supposed to record in here. Let's go to this conference room and we can talk there.
And
didn't
he
do it.
told you why he was there and why the other guy's there.
Mhm.
But he's saying, I'll tell you what I would do.
Yep.
Now the sergeant that left, he wanted to arrest you.
Yes, he did.
But I can't speak for him.
But did
I
he
can only
admit-
speak for me. No,
Yeah,
he
he
doesn't.
did.
But he says all I can say is what I would have done.
Yes.
But he never admitted that he would arrest MLH, right?
No, and I was trying to get him to admit that, because then I would have had a civil suit because that's all it takes, right?
Yeah, but the desk sergeant did.
He did, and I do have a case against him. So I don't know if there's a lawyer willing to talk to me. I'm willing to talk to you. So let's talk here because I take my freedom very, very. I don't take it lightly, and nobody else should too. So when a man threatens to arrest you for doing a constitutionally protected activity in a public area, then that should be taken seriously by every citizen. You know what I mean? Like there should be outcry when that happens. And I'm definitely offended. I'm offended by the front desk guy, and I'm offended by that third sergeant, the gray hair sergeant. I can't remember his name. I think it's like Eubank or Ucheck or something of that nature. And I'm most likely going to file a complaint on that guy because it's ridiculous. And the guy at the front. I didn't catch his name, but I'll have to go through the video and catch his name. So I think there's two complaints to be had there. So let's finish up here.
The conference room over here,
But that's still inside the building.
it's still inside the building, but here's why. We still are able to have privacy, like for example, those two ladies that came in here. We can still have a conversation and we're out of the elements, right? Now, right now it's nice out. If it was 100 degrees right now, I'm not exactly a thin guy. So I wouldn't want to be out here either. So I probably would have said, let's just have
And we need more people
Wait,
like
did
you.
he say that?
that
Did he
understand-
say that would be outside the office?
That's what he said.
But you're not in the office. You're in the waiting room.
Right. That's not an office. That's the waiting room. That's a public lobby. Right. Right. So there's so many inconsistencies here, but let's continue.
And that because you're definitely in violation of that ordinance by bringing us into the conference room or whichever part of the building.
But I can certainly explain better by saying to try to mitigate, to de-escalate the circumstances.
But then
Be able to have an established conversation. That makes more.
Officer discretion. KDOT said it right there. You have officer discretion. No officer should ever arrest anybody for videotaping inside those lobbies. That's the bottom line here. You said it, KDOT. Officer discretion.
More sense to me,
Right.
right?
Right.
You also use officer discretion.
That's
To
where I'm
de-escalate,
trying to- yes.
and that's your job, is to de-escalate it. You're not escalating.
Right. So
The goal is to find a solution so we can solve the problem.
Yeah.
Not create another problem. And then it's just like, I'm doing, a couple of days.
I mean,
in
honestly,
jail.
do you see
All
the
because of that,
demeanor? Do you see the demeanor between you two and this guy over here that was very antagonistic? You guys were very calm. This guy didn't say anything, that's the best course of action, I think. And then you just with, very calm, not want to de-escalate.
Well,
And as opposed to this guy, I know people are different. You guys aren't all robots,
I'm not
and
gonna comment on obviously, I'm not going to comment on my part.
right. But there is a difference.
I appreciate
Big
the
difference.
compliment, and you know what? I prefer handling it this way. And I'd be lying to you saying if I've never been mean to somebody because that's part of your job. Sometimes you have to be mean to
No,
somebody.
I understand. You have to
for
be a
also
little
safety circumstances, all that, right?
Well,
Right.
the search.
Mean. He said mean there, and watch what KDOT says.
Assertive, not mean.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to be mean. I mean,
Exactly. Well, yeah,
assertive is
assertive,
different than mean. Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
being respectful. Try to
Right.
say that,
Right.
simple terms, but that's part of everything. I heard you guys are being super calm and respectful. I'm gonna be super calm and respectful, even if you're agitated and being mean. I'm not gonna get agitated because
Right. You seem like that
usually you
type.
bump up people that way. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? It usually doesn't go to bring someone down. So,
Right.
all right. Let me go get you that card, and then do you have any other questions for me? Please email me that information.
I think I'm good, man.
You don't have to give me your first name, just so I know. What do you like to be called by?
I'm not gonna give you
Can I call,
anything.
how about this? Can I call you Halloween?
Thanks a lot, man. That's perfect.
Halloween works. All right. Thank you.
To email me what he found or what, because I didn't hear anything back.
Okay, I will talk with him about that.
So we can schedule time to meet. So I can come back up here and give him the complaint.
Perfect. So let me get you that card.
All right. Appreciate
I
that.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, spoiler alert, we don't get a card from that third guy because what was the excuse? He already gave it to KDOT. So I don't think we need to further do any more video unless you guys want
I
to
would-
see any.
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes, yes, yes.
I want yes, and we do need to expose that email.
Okay, let's continue on here then. You'll hear a discussion between me and KDOT, and then these officers.
Well, you
come
can
out.
fast forward until they come back out.
Can I get both of your cards as well? I don't think I got yours.
All right, hold on. Let me fast forward. You like my little Scooby Doo. All right, let's
Okay, here you go.
back up a little bit here and continue with the conclusion, the stunning conclusion to Rabbit Hole Part 4.
Council member and me and MLH are supposed to have a meeting with our
Yeah,
police
yeah.
sometime, and we'll discuss that.
So, Officer or Sergeant Kevin Uchek advised that he's already given you his business card in the past.
I didn't have his card. I need his card.
Okay, and he's not going to give it. So,
He's not going to give his card. What's his name?
Sergeant Kevin Uchek.
You check. Okay.
Again, please
He's going to get a complaint on that too, because if anybody asks, that you guys, per policy, you guys should hand out your business card or at least verbalize your name and badge number, which you guys did. No problem.
Understood. Just the messenger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got one more quick question.
Yeah.
Is there a CRS that local ordinance is attached to with no recording inside the building there?
Well, it's actually CRS 189-117.
Okay, so you guys are hiding under the CRS there. Okay. All right, we got that.
Just so you're aware. So,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
You guys have a good day.
You too.
All right, there's the conclusion with the CRS. By the way, KDOT, can you refresh the memory of myself and everybody else out there what that specific CRS
I can.
deals with?
I can.
Okay, Ellie.
It's unlawful conduct on public property.
Right.
Right.
That has nothing to do with videotaping.
Has
So
nothing to do with
So-
they're trying to refer to I think it's section B, if I'm not mistaken.
But
It's section
unlawful
B.
conduct on public property, if it is recording, then every camera that they have in that police station is charged with the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Every camera everywhere. You can't say that unlawful conduct on public property is recording within itself.
Yep.
It's right and
Unlawful conduct is a behavior. It's not recording.
Right.
Right.
And here's the thing. What they're trying to refer to is that I think it's section B, the manager of a public facility is allowed to make rules and regulations for their building. But here's the thing. It doesn't say that you can violate the Constitution while doing
Right.
that.
That's exactly
Okay.
right.
So
You can make as many-
You
I
can't
could-
make a rule saying that I can't wear a blue shirt in the police station. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Okay, but let me read you what B is, because you said B.
I think it was B. I think I'm not.
B is restriction or limitation of the use of such public building or property as the time, place, or matter
Right.
permitted activities. That has nothing to do with recording.
Right. It has nothing to do with recording, and they did, and not only that, but the law itself and the way it was written was very vague. Wouldn't you agree, Ellie?
Absolutely. It's more for like a disorderly conduct
Right.
Correct.
charge than
And
to
for-
record.
It really centers around funerals.
Right.
Well, that's I think section C
Yeah,
in there.
Section
So,
C.
so if I were to go into that public library and take a stack of those papers and throw them up in the air and yell and cause a commotion, maybe
Yeah.
bump in, then I can see where that wouldn't be allowed, right? But that
Correct.
shouldn't be allowed whether or
Or yell
not.
fire.
Yeah,
in- in
that shouldn't be
public
allowed
place.
whether I have a camera or not. That's a non-camera issue, right? That's just
Right.
me being a jackass, throwing
Right.
papers and littering everywhere, right? We're talking about littering here
Right.
and doing all that type of stuff. But I could come up. Let's say I own my house, right?
Right.
I could come up with a local ordinance, a rule or policy for my house, right? There's
Right.
no video recording on the sidewalk in front of my house.
Right.
And what is a cop supposed to come and enforce that? Of course, it's ludicrous. He wouldn't do that. He would say, "Look, they have the right to be there and record." Now, if
Right.
they, peer into your house, like if they zoom into your window and are causing you distress that way, that may be a different story. But I see no evidence of that, so
Right.
whatever.
Right.
I put the code in chat if anybody
Yes.
wants to read that code.
Thank you.
So
Ed.
you
No,
can
it says
see.
it has to do with opacity. Yeah, it's not. It has nothing to do with the camera.
And then it
So-
said, and can you reread that particular part where you said that the restrictions on time, so we could just break that down for people?
Yeah, hold on.
Um,
You said B. Okay, hold on. Let me get to B.
So, KDOT,
Restriction or limitation of the use of such public buildings, or property as to time, manner, or permitted activities.
right. So
Right.
we were in the public library lobby, and it was not restricted. If we were behind the gate somewhere, that's restricted. Even if the let's just say
It wasn't after hours. It was
it
during.
wasn't after hours, right?
Yep.
And we were in the same realm of accessibility to a public place that we pay for, and we're allowed to administer the First Amendment right, which is freedom of press. And so
freedom of press. We're also allowed to redress our government, which we were trying to do. We were trying to file a formal complaint against an officer who definitely broke the law. I mean, what else? How?
Well, it's accountability because
Yeah.
it's he said, she said. All of a sudden, those body cams would not be working. I assure you, if you were not recording. I
Right.
assure you, or they wouldn't have turned them on. It's only because you have them that they do that.
Right.
right,
Because they seem to go missing. I don't know what it is, but they go missing.
By the way, I think I should probably get Officer Uchek's body cam for that interaction too, because
I think we should get all of them. I think
well,
we should get
especially
all three.
yeah, especially that one. Well, it's going to cost us, KDOT. You know how
I
it
don't
goes.
care. I don't care.
I don't have a ton of money.
Yeah, I'd like to
so-
see what happened because they turned them on before they came out. So I'd
No,
like
we
to see
should.
what happened.
That's going to be the next mission. We're going to get those. And I think we should go down to the headquarters and get those.
And I want to know how old those gumballs are. Because listen, they could break a tooth in there. I mean, you don't know what could happen with those gumballs. Is anybody checking them out? How long
Well,
they been in there? They could be stale.
We're definitely going to return to that police station, but that one's going to take a little bit of planning because we already know what they're capable of doing and what they want to do.
Right.
And I think I'm going to be the one to take this because I don't think it makes sense for KDOT to be the one recording because.
Well, here's the thing. What we're going to actually do, we're going to actually read the actual section, and we're going to let them know, like, look, it has nothing about recording, not being allowed to record in a building or a public building. Hell, it doesn't even say anything about a private building.
Right. Right.
Not even a private facility. You know what I'm saying? I can at least see if you put that on there. You know what I'm saying? But then it'll contradict then the law doesn't become so vague.
Right. Noel's right. He says, while there may be time, place, and manner restrictions on expressive First Amendment activities, they can't apply here. I
Right.
totally agree. And it's
Right.
not like we were being jackasses. It's
Yeah.
not like we were yelling
We were-
to the high heavens.
We
Like,
were documenting our complaint.
right. and
That's exactly what we were doing,
right.
and we were asking questions, and we were there as press. So
And you know what's funny? The next time we go there, I'm most likely going to get arrested because I just know how that officer is. But
you know what? You should wear your press badge.
well,
Let me go
I
there.
might.
I think you should.
But yeah, I gotta find it. I think I know where it is, but here's my thoughts on the matter. I'm most likely going to get arrested, but I'm going to demand and KDOT, you're going to have to be my witness to this
Yeah,
because
for
the
sure.
camera is going to be taken away with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to demand that they arrest the other officer that has his body cam on. That's recording in a public lobby which obviously is not going to happen, but it's the point, if they can arrest.
Well, no. But that's a good point, MLH, because why do you need your body cam if you already have the stealing cameras?
Right.
Exactly.
Why is that necessary? How many views do you need? Maybe yours would give a different view.
Right.
Why is only theirs good enough?
Yep. Plus 10 minutes and before and after, Jonathan. Yes, we need to request, but they will edit it.
And not only that, they always go to that feeling police shit, and they say, well, there's victims and stuff like that. But aren't your body cameras picking up that as well?
Yeah.
They're picking up audio.
Ask Bernie where the badge is, Michelle says. You both were respectful with your demeanor. Another officer were not. Yeah, look, I try my best. I wasn't very respectful to that third sergeant after a point. Like the second time he tried to bump into me, then that's when I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. Like if we were on the street and you had no badge and gun, you would not be standing that close to me because you would probably get a different reaction from me than me just stepping away from you. You know what I mean, K-Dot? Like
Yeah.
I know I'm more of a pacifist. I don't like to get into fights or arguments or anything of that nature. I would
Yeah.
prefer, diplomatically taking care of things and stuff like that. Like you and I have had these conversations, K-Dot,
Right.
but there is a certain point where I do reach that point, where you're not going to disrespect me and you're going to fucking hear it from me because I have a mouth
Right.
just like everybody else in this country and I do intend on using it.
Right.
Also, I probably would have pushed that guy away if it was like if he didn't have a badge and a gun and he decided to come that close to my face. My instant reaction would be to probably push him away. But knowing that he has a gun, I'm not touching the guy because you know how that can escalate and go to real quick. And
For
I'm
sure.
not. I don't want to. Be in a position where he feels he's justified in shooting me because of officer safety or whatever. So, okay. So I know we have the emails to go over, KDOT, but can we save that for a separate rabbit hole?
I would say let's go over. I mean, it's really quick
Okay. I mean, if you want to,
because I
let's.
think the next rabbit hole we need to be going back up there.
Yes, I agree with you, but it's going to have to be in the middle of the week sometime, not
Oh
on
no,
a
that's
Friday.
fine. That's fine.
Not on a Friday, not
I get
anywhere
you.
where I could be held in jail for the weekend.
Right.
I mean, I don't
I
want to
don't want
spend.
you. I don't want you in there over the weekend either, brother.
I'll spend a day in there. I'm willing to go that far, but I don't want to spend a weekend in there for something that's perfectly legal. Okay, KDOT, let's go over the emails. I don't want to
Okay.
put the emails up on screen, but do you
Okay.
want me to read them?
Yeah, go ahead and read
Uh,
them. Yeah, go ahead and read
Okay.
them.
Do you want me to? Okay, I'm not. Your email is very detailed, KDOT, so I
You
don't.
don't have to read all of
I don't
it.
want to read that one. You
You
included. Yep. Go ahead.
well, the part that I'm talking about, you don't have to because there's a laws that I break down on. Well, you be like you just tell them the statute.
Okay. There's the statutes that were covered in KDOT's complaint are as follows. He violated CRS 18-4-115. And it basically goes into littering and what littering is considered waste material, refuge, garbage,
Right.
trash, debris, or other, whatever. and he does a very good job of breaking that down. And he sends the video, and then McCluskey comes back, which you guys saw in the video, and he says, "Good morning, good morning, sir. I will review the link video and we'll get back with you shortly. Thank you for taking the time to email." And then he says, Mr. K. Dot, did you or your friend by chance collect the paper/material from the street? I realize this is a weird question, but we wanted to ensure if there was any additional evidence related to the incident. Additionally, are there or were there any additional witnesses present that you are aware of? Were there any additional videos that you're aware of, or that would have a different angle of the patrol car? Thanks for your time. So there you go, K-Dot. There's the whole shebang.
That's pretty much the whole thing. So
Now, I will say, though, when I hear that, this
Yeah.
is just my take.
Yes.
When you say, is there any additional evidence, you're saying that you have evidence.
Right.
You do have evidence that he littered, so you did see it.
Right.
Now you want to know how many other people saw it.
now,
Yes.
this is what I want you to do, MLH. I
Yeah.
want you to reply
Hey, AC.
to that email. Also, that you have noticed and witnessed him also park in front of a driveway, which that's also illegal. Not just the littering, but he also parked in front of a driveway in front of a business where it also states no parking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
And also close to the stop sign.
Yeah,
And I will.
and on my way to work, I will send you the no parking sign
Okay.
and send that to you. So
And I will also include my video link as well. I mean, he's playing
You
coy
can even
here.
timestamp it for him so we can
Yeah, what was it, Ellie?
down to slow it down. 6:18.
Yep.
yep.
Okay, 6:18 on my video, and that's Rabbit Hole 1,
One.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will do that, and I will point out the other deficiencies. But by the way, what's up, Shit Show? What's up, AC?
Hey, shit,
Nice to have you in here. I guess the final point I want to make on this whole thing is K-Dot and I will be back there. Don't know what time or date or anything like that. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up high that that this is going to be the day, but and I don't want them knowing when we go either. I want it to be a completely fresh experience, and but I am expecting the worst, and I don't want it to be that way. I just simply want to go in there, and I want to ask for complaint forms, which they didn't give it to us last time. I really want a complaint form, but the big thing was now they want to know. He's playing coy like he doesn't know who I am. I'm pretty sure he does, but I will go ahead and give it to them. I mean, they know who I am personally, anyways. They've doxed me on camera before, so I will give them the channel when I send the video, and it is what it is. But anyways, we need to do final thoughts so everybody can go to lunch and have fun. Ellie, do you have any final words before we?
I do. I want to know if anybody broke a tooth on one of those gumballs. I want to know the last time one of those gumball machines were cleaned out, how old the gumballs are, who purchased them. I want the gumballs removed.
Okay.
Hashtag remove the gumball machine.
Yes.
The gumballs.
Which well, I can go up there specifically for that cost too, in addition to the other things. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sorry to hear that, Michelle. That always sucks when you lose
I'm
fur
sorry about
babies.
that. Yeah.
K-Dot, any final gumballs? Ellie, you're something else. K-Dot, any final thoughts? Anything you want to plug before we get off the air here?
Well, yes, I have a few things. Well, thank you for having me on the show, sir. It's always a pleasure being here.
I mean, come on, man. It goes without question, man. You're a part of this thing, man.
It's
Come on.
always a pleasure to be here with you and Ellie as well. Yeah, so I would say this is a big part of accountability. I think this story means so much because it is a big deal. Even though it might be a grain to to certain situations. But this is incredibly important because we're trying to be proactive before an officer does go off the hinges, before an officer is unhinged. We're trying to expose that shit so we can that's another form of mitigating even more problems. Because again, there was a black man who was shot and killed over a fucking magic marker. Ridiculous, because it was mistaken for a knife, and then they have the audacity to say suicide by cop.
Yeah.
You have to be fucking kidding me. No, that
Yeah.
was pure murder. Murder. Cold-blooded. And not only that, the child and the mother was almost shot in that particular altercation. Even worse. So, what I'm saying is that Denver police, you need to be held fully accountable. That sign needs to come down. You don't need to be fucking littering or shooting innocent people over a fucking magic marker when he was simply needing help.
Yeah.
Simply needing help. Not only that, I do have a question. It's off the subject, and also thank you for the audience members for being here. I appreciate that. It's off the subject, but I have a question. Who was the biggest? And I want chat to be interested in this question. Who was the biggest? Hold on. Let me get the question ready so I can read it properly here. Hold on. Who is the biggest cock block horror character in scary movies? A. Jason Voorhees. B. Chucky. C. Freddy Krueger. Or D. Michael Myers. Out of those four characters, who is the biggest fucking cock blocker?
This is the easiest fucking question you could ever have asked me, K-Dot.
It's interesting, right?
It's interesting, but it's definitely the easiest question in horror
Okay.
knowledge that I have in my brain.
You are
It's
the horror.
def-
You are the horror god.
It is
so-
definitely Jason Voorhees without
Jason.
a question. It's not even close. If you go
Okay.
back to the history, Jason has prevented more sexual encounters or stopped sexual encounters than any other character in cinematic history.
It's
It's
cinematic history.
Jason Voorhees. Not even close. Not even close. Look, McDonald agrees.
So-
Mile High agrees. King Solomon.
Michelle
you're
said
wrong.
Chucky.
Yeah, definitely not Chucky, Michelle.
Not-
Look at
not-
the
I
history.
don't even remember Chucky even cock blocking. I don't.
Yeah, it's definitely.
if
definitely-
anything, Chucky got some.
he did.
Chucky
man.
got some.
He's a promoter of sex, man. That's
He,
crazy.
Not
yeah.
only a promoter of sex, but he's also a promoter of safe sex
Exactly.
because he was all rubber.
All right. This is not Hot Tub Hour. This is
I'm sorry.
the MLH
that
channel.
was. I'm
Uh,
sorry. I had to
just had
sneak a
to.
little hot tub in it. I had to. Sneak
Yeah,
a
I
little
know.
bit.
It's all good. We'll see. We'll see if you show up to Hot Tub tonight at
Ooh.
9 Eastern, which is 7
Okay.
our time, K-Dot,
7
on
time,
Bernie's
okay.
channel. Make sure you sub to Bernie's channel if you haven't already. You can check out a bunch of people singing very badly and making up very, very naughty lyrics to some of your favorite songs. So I want to thank everybody in chat. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock the house. That's why I do what I do. You know.
Wait,
however-
Ellie didn't answer the question though.
Oh, Ellie didn't answer it.
I would have said Freddie also.
Freddie,
Mm,
really? No,
Freddie.
it's definitely Jason. It's definitely
Mm.
Jason. I mean, if you watch all of those movies, he definitely interrupts.
Honestly, my answer was Michael Myers because
really,
he killed people in mid doing it. Like
you haven't seen Friday
Yeah, but
13th
Freddy Krueger can do it in your dreams.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
if you watch the movies, there's not much sex to be had in those movies. There's a couple of scenes, like in
what? And
part
Michael
one-
Myers? Are you kidding me?
Not Michael Myers. Freddie.
Freddie?
Not a lot. There's a couple of
Okay, okay.
kind of
Okay.
heavy petting type stuff.
Okay.
but in a lot of the Jason movies, like he's right. I mean, in part 2, he takes a spear. Oh no, part 1 he spears. No, it's part 2 where he spears a couple as they're doing it in the bed.
Right, right.
I mean, he does it all the time, man. He's preventing from people having sex, almost every movie except for
Well-
maybe part 6. But
So okay, so I have a question.
yes,
Did he what was his name? Kevin Bacon? What he was killed during while he was doing it too, right?
I don't think while he was doing it, but he was in
It
the
was
bed
after?
after
Doing what, gentlemen?
having sex. Having sex, Ellie. How dare you? But he did get Kevin Bacon gets a spear through the throat.
So I
So
will
that-
I will say a lot of people because this question is on my community page if you would like to vote, go there. But so far, Jason Voorhees is at 54%.
Yeah,
So,
it's a no-brainer. It's easy.
Chucky's at 13%, which I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger at 25%, and then Michael Myers at 8%. What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, think about it, K-Dot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely Jason, man. It's not even
Yeah.
not even close, man. But
Now-
anyways,
Now thinking about it, yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, well, first of all, there's been 12 movies, so there. I mean, by movie volume alone, but But anyways,
Sure.
I digress. Let me get back to my parting thoughts. My whole thing about this Rabbit Hole series is not necessarily about the littering, which it stems from the littering, but it goes even deeper because it goes into procedural questions, and also the public putting in complaints to the police department. It's next near to pulling teeth than to get your complaint heard. There's no forms in the lobby, which every lobby should have the forms, and you should easily be able to hand it in to an officer or whoever. So my whole thing with this thing is process, and also the fact that I almost got arrested for doing nothing other than holding a camera.
There was no note taking either, let's be honest. He held that pen the whole time but didn't write nothing down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't write anything down.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not, he wasn't interested, and I mean, he's following through just to cover his ass, but he's not, I mean, it's going to go nowhere. But I mean, this goes further. There are going to be more rabbit hole parts because I will be back to file a formal complaint against Officer, not McCluskey, but I can't remember his name.
The Kevin.
Yeah, his
something.
you check. I think
You
is his name.
check. Yeah, you check.
I
Kevin,
will
you
be
check.
going back to file a formal complaint against him for intimidation and for trying to get too close to me and violating my personal space and whatever else and being discourteous.
Violating your First Amendment right.
Yeah, and trying to violate my First Amendment right by arresting me for nothing.
Right.
And also threatening me to turn me over to the DA's office. So there will be a complaint against him and against the officer in the window, the guy that you saw at the beginning,
Right.
and because he did threaten me with arrest, and that's something that a lawyer might want to take a look at and file a civil case against him, his insurance, and the city of Denver. So I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and it's continuing on. Stay tuned for Rabbit Hole Part 6 coming soon to a theater near you. For the audience, thank you guys so much. And again, I want to thank Ellie for being up on the panel and being very thoughtful and thorough as always, and also K-Dot for having the knowledge and for having my back over there. I mean, he was holding my keys to the shark, so he had the keys to the kingdom, as they say. So, thanks for always having my back and backing me, and I'm sure we'll be back out there,
I
K-Dot.
got you, buddy.
And again, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. All right, any other thoughts before we leave, Ellie?
Stay safe out there, everyone.
Yes, K-Dot.
Always record police in any type of interaction. Always.
All right.
Record police.
Yep. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Hashtag gumball.
Hashtag gumball machine.
Gumball gate.
Hashtag gumball.